something fun at the beginning is be like, hey,
live from SunTrust Park here in Atlanta, Georgia, home of the Atlanta Braves.
Yes,
Here we are for the first Atlanta Players Cup. I am Too Loud TX. Here with me today, the man himself, Marshall. And man, I am excited about this one.
Absolutely. Marshall ISO, Garrison here. We're here. We're going to be doing we're going to have a fun charity tournament here with some pro esports guys, some Atlanta Braves, benefiting the Atlanta Braves Foundation. They do a lot of stuff around the city, really giving back to the community and keeping that community going.
So tell me, why don't you break it down for me a little bit, some
Absolutely.
facts about the foundation itself.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm the local here. I will handle this. So the Atlanta Braves Foundation is the nonprofit arm of the Atlanta Braves. They actively support community organizations within Metro Atlanta. They were founded in 1994, and so far they've provided thousands and millions of dollars and in-kind type of things to the community here in Atlanta, here in Metro Atlanta, and they base organizations here like the All-American Blood Drive, the Atlanta hospitals, especially the kids and children's wards, and military outreach, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they even work with the Make-You-Wish Foundation as well.
Yeah, they do a whole bunch of stuff here in Metro Atlanta, and they just keep trying and striving to improve the quality of life for especially the youth around Metro Atlanta to help them strive and help them grow and help them learn and have a really great life.
I remember earlier I asked, what exactly are they all involved in? They said, what are they not involved in, basically, around the city?
That's pretty much what it is. If you throw something at a charity, the Atlanta Braves Foundation has probably had a part in it. And we're going to have donations live while we have this open. And we want everybody to go, if they can, and donate to the Atlanta Braves. It's braves.com/foundation. And they can donate anything. Anything you can give, everyone is going to be very thankful for it, and it gets back to the right place.
Yeah, every dollar counts, right? If it's even $1, it matters. If it's $5, whatever it is that you can help out the organization and help out donate here today, it's going to go to a great cause. You can actually hit !donate in the chat there and see the direct link that's there as well. In case we get it wrong, because we'll probably get a few things wrong tonight.
We might. And as you can see it right here on the screen, it says that to donate, braves.com/donate. And donate for a chance to win some. You get some amazing prizes. You've got some baseballs signed by. This is the chance to win them, of course. You know, we're going to do a random drawing. You get 5 baseballs autographed by some Braves guys and Braves players up for grabs. You got 2 autographed baseballs from Luke Jackson, who has been instrumental between the Braves and RBK, our esports pros here, as well as 10 autographed 8x10s photographs of different Braves players.
So some people might say, what is the Atlanta Players Cup? What is that? What are we doing? We're brought here today with the RBK team. Yeah. And you see me sporting it here on the shirt, little RBK, but Raised by Kings is here in the stadium at the field level. We're down here. We're actually playing, and like we said, we're raising money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation, and they're here to help us do that today. We're going to get a little bit of time watching these guys get us some victory royales, playing along with their coach or one of the owners here today, and Joao. But they're also going to be playing with some of the pro players later tonight as well.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're going to be playing with some Atlanta Braves later, and that's what the Atlanta Players Cup is all about. It's doing a local charity for local people and doing it through celebrity video game tournaments and bringing that love of esports, especially games like Fortnite, which is the biggest game in the world right now. And tonight, specifically, we're going to be mixing it with the traditional sports world and the baseball world, exactly. And we'll have some Braves players in here. I know Luke Jackson's going to come in and play.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of Fortnite. All of these guys are great, huge Fortnite fans, and that's why they've invited us here to be able to do this great cause. But let's talk a little bit about the Raised by King players a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. They're really picking it up. They had a really great – they've been really showing up in Fortnite. They just had a player who was at the World Cup.
Left Eye was at the World Cup. He was there in New York, able to play. They also had C's and Elevate, who won earlier into last year, should I say, at WSOE, winning like 40 grand. So Elevate was with Raised by Kings at that time. But, yeah, a lot of great players. Raised by Kings seems to have a good pulse on these up-and-coming players,
they do.
And it definitely shines. But, yeah, let's jump into to Ronan, if we can. Ronan is
they're playing right now, so we should actually be able to see him with some. There's Ronan right there.
Ronan, the man, right here. He's 22. He's from Wichita, Kansas. He joined RBK back in February of 2019, and I asked him his favorite items. Can you believe what he told me?
I'm going to assume it's a troll.
He trolled me a little bit. He said mix and junk riffs. So if you're a fan of junk riffs, this is your man, Ronan, out there. So definitely, go on. He's very serious and locked in here as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's all concentration. This guy comes in, he practices think he was telling me like 9 or 10 hours a day. All of these guys are practicing hours on end, hours on end.
Yep.
Really just refining their technique and keeping their aim strong and those building skills, which are so important in Fortnite. And these guys just practice, practice, practice.
Well, RBK is more than just the 3 guys we see here today. They have actually 9 players on their Fortnite roster right now. But the pair that seems to be catching my eye quite a bit over here is Gilly and Steez. But they are actually here as well with us. Gilly joined with RBK back in 2019 on March, and he also joined at the same time that Steens did. He's from Detroit, Michigan, and his favorite item, the heavy sniper rifle.
Heavy sniper. It's one of my favorites, and pretty much every game I ever play. I love that long-distance shot, having to judge distance and judge bullet travel and all that stuff, all that little math that you have to do at the last second to get it just right.
Well, there's a lot of great uses for the heavy sniper. When you're pushing boxes, especially those 1x1s, this is a great it's a great weapon to jump in there and quickly jump in someone's 1x1, and that's what he does quite a bit. Yeah. And I'm sure we'll see that tonight with that heavy sniper quite a bit. But as I mentioned, his teammate, Steens, also Austin is his real name, 21 from Houston, Texas. Shout out to my hometown, we're back in Houston. And then he joined RBK back in 2019 as well, like I said, in March. And his favorite item, the Boogie Bomb.
Boogie Bombs. So the Boogie Bomb is a bane of my existence. I always get hit with them, and I can never find them. I wish that I could get them more often because I wouldn't mind using them on occasion.
Don't lie, you love the dance. You just don't like the part where they kill you.
Yes, exactly. I don't like being able to not fire back.
Well, as you see here, Steens on, just smile. Give us a little smile. There you go. There it is. There's a little smile from Steens. But we also have Joao as well. And as I mentioned, Joao, I almost said coach earlier. He's not their. He's not anywhere close to a coach. Yeah. You don't really want him coaching them. You just want him taking care of them.
Yeah. RBK Concealed. He was telling me how he grew up gaming.
Yeah.
And this was a dream of his that's really coming into fruition.
Believe it or not, Joao he's 30 years old. He's from Venezuela. Founded RBK back in 2018 with both the Jackson brothers. We're going to talk a little about here. But his favorite item, the rocket launcher.
Yes.
And I actually like that one. I think that would be my favorite item as well.
It's another one I can't ever find. I keep saying that this is something I can't find. This is something I don't get to use. This is something I can't find. The reason I can't find them is because I'm typically already eliminated.
Yeah,
I'm down. I'm out.
You find them, but the other people already have them.
Yeah. I mean, they found them first, and I found them from a very far distance. Yeah.
Well, like I said, the Jackson brothers, both Luke and Chase, started RBK with Joao in 2018. They all grew up playing since middle school. They've played games together. And this is really a dream come true for them to be here, to be doing this. As you said, Luke, obviously professional baseball player.
Absolutely.
You might have seen him pitch a few times here if you've been at SunTrust. But his passion for gaming, I think, is almost just as big as his passion for baseball, it seems like.
Yeah. It's, he's really been pushing himself towards the baseball, and baseball has become his passion, but also his work. And it's, I think could you imagine being able to not just do, but excel at 2 of the things that you love in life?
Yeah.
I mean,
and he doesn't just play games. He's actually a very avid player. I walked in actually today. I got invited to his apartment. He had League up. He had just finished a game of League of Legends. He was just playing as well. And so he is an avid gamer. He doesn't just play Fortnite or League.
Yeah.
They play a long title. And Joel's telling me they play together every night a few hours.
Every night, yeah. Well, and I got to see him play some Fortnite on Monday. Right, so I got to see over there, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, let's see how he does. I don't know, maybe it's just, there he is right there. I'm like, maybe he's just saying, yeah, I really like video games. When he said he was good, and I look over, and he's starting a game, I get into a conversation, I look over 15 minutes later, and I see Victory Royale. Big old cheesy smile on his face.
Well, he's proud of it. I saw that picture as well on Twitter. He was very proud of that Victory Royale. But It's not because it doesn't come to him very often. He actually gets quite a bit of wins, but it's just the fact that that's how much he enjoys winning. You see it every time on his face. But, you know, RBK has been a great launching ground for a lot of these pro players. And some of these that we see here today might be the next one to win that $3 million prize at the next Fortnite World Cup. You just never know.
I mean, we can always keep an eye. You got to keep an eye on these guys. These guys they're working and they're hungry and they're ready for it. They're just pushing and pushing and pushing.
Well, you mentioned it. Well, I think we have some gameplay coming up as well.
We do. We got them playing right here live. We're going to be playing for a little bit, and let's go ahead and see what we can follow.
See what we can jump into here. It looks like we got some fun mech action already happening here.
Yes, we do.
Or brute. I'm sorry. It's the brute action. Let me get it correct. The brute action happening here as well. For those of you that may not know, Fortnite is a world full of fun toys to play with, basically, right?
Yes.
The Epic devs have been so kind to continually give us new items, continually update, which is one of the great things behind this game in general, is that every week these players are getting an update every time. And it might not always be the update they're looking for, Marshall, but it is an update.
That is true. You know, and it's the constant new updates and the constant new what's the word I'm looking for here? Just the content.
Yeah.
And every season has a giant change, and it takes a little bit of growth and a little bit of changing of your tactics and your play style to really come into your own and learn how to use the new stuff. You know, for example, with this brute.
Yeah.
It was game changing in a huge way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it changes your normal gameplay just from a mobility standpoint, as we see here. But some people are asking, is this not always been in the game? Is it in the game we're talking about? So the one reason we're highlighting this brute is this is an actual item or a vehicle, should I say, of contention amongst the pro scene right now. A lot of players like it, and a lot of players don't like it so much.
Absolutely. Well, the 1,000 health, and here we're going to see some mech on mech action hopefully here. And you see right here, the one mech's got Gilly pinned down. It looks like he's pinned down.
Yeah.
He's going to build up to it. And you've got 3 players on one mech, and you can see this mech is just...
So the big thing about these brutes is, as you mentioned before, you got 1,000 health, right? So immediately when you see these, you want to put your entire team's focus on it. And as we saw right here, RBK, they called it out, and immediately they're all putting their focus on it. It looks like they have Joao here in the brute themselves, and it's really probably to benefit Joao more than anything else.
I mean, it comes down to they know what they can do, and they're used to working together, and they're used to playing together, and maybe they don't play as many games with Joao, but he's very effective with that mech, and you can see here where we have that visual audio there, so we can kind of see where the stuff is coming from as well, that they had some fire from up front that was just them throwing some stuff, knocking down some walls.
Yeah, I mean, there might be some new viewers out there that love baseball, seen the Atlanta Braves Foundation, you know, being tweeted out and all the things that we had built up coming to this event, and they might not know Fortnite very well. So to kind of give a breakdown on Fortnite, let's go to the basics here. Which
let's go to the very.
What
basics.
is Fortnite, Marshall? What do you do in it?
So Fortnite is a battle royale genre type of game. It's played in a third person, so you can see your character and around it. And what you're doing is you drop in, as a bunch of players drop in, and you want to be the last one still there.
Right.
While doing so, you can build ramps and walls and floors, all these things. You can build up fortifications. It helps you get to higher ground, helps you protect yourself. But at the same time, you also want to eliminate other players.
Right, so you have 100 players falling onto the map, and this is the same map we've been using since the beginning of time. So a lot of people out there might say, well, is my son still playing on the same map, or my daughter, or my husband, or my wife still playing on the same map they've played on since the beginning? And the answer is yes. It's just evolving all the time.
It is an evolving map. Every single season they change things up where maybe they'll take what used to be a cityscape and they'll turn it into a town. Or maybe they'll drop a giant meteor on it.
Right.
And here we got some more mech on mech action. Let's see what they can do with it here.
Yeah, this brute on brute action is always entertaining to watch. We got Ronan in it, so Ronan's kind of a pro. I mean, as I mentioned, all these players are very skilled, and although I've challenged them to give us some entertainment today besides just wins and normal engagements that they deal with every day, I think we will definitely see their skills shine through here today.
We did. You know, we specifically talked to them beforehand. We're like, hey guys, let's have some fun games. Let's get some fun, some action, and let's just keep it exciting. We don't necessarily always have to have the win. The win will be nice. Don't get me wrong.
Guys, you should still win. But it's really nice to see that they're doing everything
and having fun with it as well.
As you can see here, this is the reason why brutes are so difficult. And I don't want to stop us from talking and teaching basics of Fortnite, but I wanted to call this out. What's happening here when this brute is engaging is immediately you saw it shoot 10 rockets, right? So those 10 rockets don't allow their enemy, per se, to be able to build up, right? And be able to continue their structures that are so critical to Fortnite. And you can see immediately they can tear it down just like that.
And
that's one shot.
If you take out the lowest structure, the one supporting everything above it falls down. So if you have a ramp that's 10 ramps high and you take out that bottom one, all of them will collapse.
And as you can see, he can continually just shoot these rockets. There's no, I mean, the cooldown period is very small. The time it takes to be able to shoot it is very, very quick, as you see here. And he's just jumping on top of those players, continually taking them out, concealed, already knocking down one of them, and going ahead and putting fire so his teammate can follow. I mean, we see 100 shield come off that player with those rockets as he continually pushes up. And Joao knows he's got him trapped against the storm, so he continually pushing him there, making sure he's not allowed to just back away from that storm so easy.
Just gatekeeping that wall, making sure letting the storm do some of the work for him. Because, you know, if you get that's the other thing that we didn't talk about, is you've got the building and you've got the weapons and you've got the eliminations you're going for. But what really pushes these guys together, what pushes all the players together to have those battles, to have that battle royale, is the storm. The storm continuously shrinks. It'll stop at one circle, then the timer counts down, then it moves into the next one, and it gets continuously smaller each time, forcing people into the space with each other.
As we see here, and like you mentioned, not only are you fighting the other players, you're fighting this storm that's closing, forcing everybody into the small area, because at the end of the day, the goal is to be the last one standing.
Last one standing. It doesn't matter if you have 20 eliminations or 0 eliminations. I mean, well, I guess you'll always have one, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, no, I've actually seen games win where someone, you know, the opponents all pass away in storm.
They all just...
the storm takes them away.
Well, see, there you go.
RIP.
So, RIP. So you can just... Your goal is to be the last one standing. Period. End of story. That is the ultimate goal. It's a lot. It's not as easy as it sounds.
No, not as easy as it sounds. Well, what we have here, we're coming up on a final. Looks like to be a final circle. We're gonna start approaching those here as the circle starts moving, and we'll see it. But only eight people left here. If everybody's watching the top right of their screen, underneath the little mini map, this map is showing kind of an overview. The purple area is the storm, and that's going to continue to move to the white circle that we see there. And only 8 players remaining in this. And
2 of which are RBK guys. Steens and looks like Steens and Gilly. And
correct. Yeah, all 3 of them are still alive. Joao, the only one to go down here, but Steen's immediately pushing this box and probably trying to have some of the fun I mentioned to him earlier, but he's quickly building up. Knows he got to protect himself, but getting that quick shotgun shot off and getting taken out by player 334. Wow. It's a lot of fun. As you can see here, it is a lot of fun. We're having a great time.
We got smiles.
You know, Steens, I'm not sure what happened there, but he's definitely angry about that one.
Well, you know, when you get dropped in on those shotguns are will absolutely demolish you.
Yeah, the pump shotgun that was introduced back into the game, it was vaulted and then brought back into the game, is one of the pro players' favorite ones, mainly because it is a slower rate of fire, but it also does the most damage out of all the other shotguns that are
devastating.
available.
Yeah.
So they can basically, you know, knock out someone immediately with one shot.
Well, it also has a spread, so you don't necessarily have to hit immediately directly in the center. If you aim in the general area, you'll do less damage.
Right.
But it'll still do some damage. Right. Whereas with an AR or a sniper rifle, if you miss, you miss.
Yeah, and all the shotguns in the game definitely have their critiques. You'll see as we go throughout the night, there's guns that look a lot alike. There's weapons that look a lot alike, but they do have different characteristics. They do have different attributes to them that allow them to, you know, be precise in different types of engagements, right? We'll see a lot of shotgun use tonight. That's typically used whenever people are boxing up. They're getting in 1-by-1s. They're getting close to each other and having those close encounters.
Close range, being aggressive, pushing, and that's really what we want to see, because that's the exciting stuff. That's the fun stuff, is just getting in there, really just bringing the fight to the other guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as fun to sit back and just sit in your little turtle shell and wait for them to push on you. That can be a tactic. And we will definitely see that while we have people healing back up, trying to get shields up, trying to get their health back up, even just trying to get some mats maybe even.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. A key part to this game is that when you drop in, not only finding the weapons, but also, like you said, matting up, going ahead and we see it a lot of times. You see that pickaxe out and the players, hitting the tree or hitting the house. What that is for all you out there is you get materials from that, and you can hold those materials. There's 3 main types of materials in the game. It's brick, stone, and metal. I'm sorry, I said
Wood.
stone. Wood. What about wood? Wood, brick, and metal.
There we go.
And we'll get it right today. But basically, you can collect all those materials and then use those to build your fort, where the word Fortnite comes in, and be able to encounter your players. What we see a lot on map count and what players are doing is definitely building their way in and out of situations.
Yeah, well, and as you hear especially the pro players, they're going to talk about, hey, I'm out of mats. Hey, I'm out of mats. Can you drop me mats? Can you drop me mats? And it's the different mats, of course, have different strengths. Being, your wood being your weaker one, but it builds a little faster, and then your metal being stronger, but of course it builds slower. So you really have to pick and choose. What are you going for? What do you need to get out of it?
Yeah, this is a great shot. You see all the players sitting here. Ronan, we got Gilly, we got Steens, and Joao there on the far right of the RBK guys. Man, it's really been a pleasure getting to hang out with them this week, getting to know them. I know you had some time with them as well.
Yeah, I did have. I had a little bit of time with the, especially. Well, I mean, actually, I had a little bit of time with all 4 of these guys. I'm really getting to know them a little bit, getting to know their history. Seeing if they were always into video games or if they also played some traditional sports growing up.
Right.
Like I found out that Ronan actually was a power lifter and actually enjoys going to the gym and lifting and all that stuff. And then I think it was Gilly said he played some hockey, and then Steens was playing basically everything but baseball.
Yeah,
which I thought was hilarious.
Well, I think the more you dive into a lot of these players that are athletes, and I know there's a lot of argument of whether pro gamers are athletes or not. But I will tell you, a lot of them tend to also have hobbies of other sports, other interaction. A lot of them love to go to the gym. I mean, that's just a common thing. And one thing that RBK talks a lot about is that the life quality, right, of their players, making sure they do have some activity. That's one of the things that Joel's talked to me a lot about in RBK is making sure they're not just sitting in front of their computer all day, that they do have some other interaction. They do have these schedules that they stay to be able to become a pro player. Being a pro gamer is not just, hey, I wake up, I put on my clothes, or maybe don't put on my clothes and sit down and play my games.
Yeah. It's healthy body, healthy mind. They're really realizing that a gamer is one thing, but an esports athlete is another. They have to have a regimen. They have to eat right. You can't just, drink Mountain Dew and, just drink sodas and eat chips all day.
That's why I'm not a pro, because I drink too much Mountain Dew.
That's exactly what it is. It's just, they realize, though, that with these esports athletes, and I know that term is very contentious right now, that whole athlete term when it comes to esports, but these guys are practicing 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, and when they practice, they concentrate, and they're working on teamwork, and they're working on hand-eye skills, hand-eye coordination. They're not just, they're having fun, because why would you do something if you're not having fun, right? But they're they're working. This is a job.
They are working, like you said, constantly. I mean, they're going out and, like you said, putting in anywhere from 7 to 10 hours a day easily on this game. And some people might say, oh, they're just playing a game. But just like anything, if you do it a lot, it does become more of a job for you. And this, I think, at times does become more of a job for them because they know they have to continually get better. Just like any athlete, it's not easy to run faster. It's not easy to be better at shooting your free throws. It's not easy at throwing better strikes, right?
You're right.
That's something they have to work towards continually in their career. It's the same thing these gamers do. They have to work towards getting better to these different encounters. And with Fortnite being such a game that throws these different encounters to you every single game, you have to learn how to adapt. And learning how to adapt is the only way is to learn by playing 7 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah, and it's that's what separates someone who loves to game versus an esports athlete. Loving it is enough is one thing, but really having that dedication and the ability to do so. And I mean, honestly, the skill. There's a level of skill here that is insane.
See a little default dance there.
Yeah, little default dance. It's a little showing off. But that's one of the things we were talking about earlier, too, was Fortnite is one of these games, which it's free to play, which is great. It allows anybody that has a PC or a console.
Or a phone.
Or a phone.
Or a tablet.
Anything. And it allows them to play a game, and it allows them to get out there. And the skill floor, the ability to just get in, play the game, and have a good time is really low. Anybody can get on here and play. I mean, if I can play, literally anyone can play. I am horrible.
Well, like you said, it's a lot of fun, and that's one reason why Fortnite's so popular is that anybody can play this game. Anybody can have success. Every game is different, like I said. You know, my 7-year-old loves to jump on here and play, and he's not winning all the time, but I'm telling you, they love it. And there's been so many things, like the dance we just saw a moment ago, that have become staples of Fortnite. You know, everywhere from, you know, the floss that we see everywhere else, right, to Orange Justice that we see everywhere. So, you know, from dances to these skins that come out in the game, all these things have really become more of a cultural thing happening inside the gaming industry, and in the younger, you know, the younger generations as well. They continually seem to adapt this culture more and more and more.
Absolutely. And we're also starting to see, which I really love, is we're starting to see in a lot of places more acceptance on gaming. I've been a gamer literally my whole life. If I didn't have a Nintendo, I had a Super Nintendo, or I had a Sega, or I had a PC, or I had something. I've always had something to game on. And whether it was an MMO, or it was Counter-Strike 1.6, a little throwback to the old school guys, some Counter-Strike, or Fortnite. There are plenty of games to play, and everyone has, like, it's just a really great hobby that I have always enjoyed. Now, can I play 10 hours a day? Absolutely. Can I play 10 hours a day every day? No way. No way. I can't do it. Yeah. I can't do it.
I'm with you on that. I don't know if I could either, as much as I love Fortnite. And love
there's
seeing
that
this
boogie bomb.
There's that boogie bomb immediately going on his teammate, or going on his enemy and on him. As you saw, he was dancing there, able to get the quick shotgun and clear out that team. You see it happening right here. Joel's not even in the mix. Look, he's completely across the map on the other side.
I think Joel's in another lobby.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to say. I'm not sure if he just landed in the wrong spot. I mean, what did he do? Did he land over? I don't even know. He landed Paradise Palms, and everybody else, you know, landed halfway across the map.
Yeah, you know, I think what happened there is they said, "Oh, you're too slow," and they just went.
They didn't wait on them all. They said, "We're going on."
You need us. We don't need you. Catch up.
Right. Well, and one of the things that continually you'll find with these players is in their dedication is they take it very serious as well. You know, we've talked about the dedication they have, but they do take it very serious. They do look at it as their job in a lot of cases. But it's like we said, it's a lot like these pro players, right? And coming back down to the Atlanta Braves Foundation and what we're doing here, able to bring us in with all these traditional sports players here at the Braves Stadium, SunTrust, and be able to be in here is just a spectacular thing, and I know it's a great cause that we're going for tonight as well.
And you know what? Oh, they're good. There we go. Joel's actually protecting himself and then eliminating that guy right there, throwing a little spray down. But it's one of the great things about being here, too, is later we are going to have the Atlanta Braves coming down and playing, because a lot of these guys, these professional athletes, these traditional athletes, as we like to call them, they are also gamers. They like to play as a relaxation. And we can take these traditional sports and these esports, we can combine them here, and we can raise some money for a good cause, you know, the Atlanta Braves Foundation.
And if you guys want to donate to that, in the chat, !donate. You can donate there as well. And as we mentioned, go into multiple good causes that are funneled through the Atlanta Braves Foundation.
Absolutely.
We saw the on that Brute. We saw that new laser that shows where the missiles are going. That's something they added after they initially launched with the Brute in Season 10. They actually came back and added that, hoping it would try to give some of the players some notification.
Maybe mitigate
that
a little bit.
It's coming, but more so, most players tell me it's just more of a sign to show me I'm about to die.
Yeah, I can see that. And we see right there. So that self-destructs after you destroy it, right? So it's got 1,000 health. You just have to knock it down and knock it down. What are some other ways to really handle that Brute?
Yeah, as we said before, you know, the team shooting, right, calling it out and what you see them doing here and really putting focus on that Brute was the first thing. Now they can engage. You can also self-destruct the Brute from being inside of it as well. So if the Brute, like, say, for instance, you're in there piloting the Brute. You want to get out of it. You know you're getting shot. You can actually self-destruct the Brute and jump out of it and get away. That way no one else can use it either.
Gotcha. And you can self-destruct that. Now that self-destruct will also cause it to explode, which you never know.
Which can also cause damage to the team.
They could be closing in, and that could cause an elimination. We got another little dance there.
Steen's coming in with those dances with the default again once more, but doing his little pyramid builds there. Having fun with it. These guys are literally just rolling through these lobbies.
They are. We got Steens here with 5 eliminations. I mean, I haven't even been able to keep track. They've just been doing it so quick.
Well, let's talk a little bit about his loadout for everybody that's out there that wants to see. We have a combat shotgun first. Then he has, well, he's just switched off, but it was a machine gun.
Then he had a minigun.
Then he had a minigun.
And 2 heavy snipers.
And 2 heavy snipers.
Yeah,
so a lot of pushing going on there. That combat shotgun introduced in Season 9 was a great addition. It's a little different than the pump that we saw earlier in the fact that it shoots quicker.
Yeah.
But its damage is a little bit lower. So typically what will happen for all the new gamers out there is that whenever an item is introduced in most games that has a little more damage, its typically rate of fire is slower.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
to
absolutely.
balance, right? They can't have one weapon way more powerful than the others, and they all have their bonuses and their balance. And that's one of the things that Epic continually is trying to do is balance the game, right? And that's the complaints we were talking about earlier when you talk about something like the Brute or the new Junk Rift.
And that's not an easy thing to do, because once you introduce one thing, yes, it has a direct effect on another, but then you also have to worry about its secondary and tertiary effects. It's for a traditional baseball. It's like when I remember high school, when I played high school baseball, it was first you were allowed a -5 bat, and then all of a sudden we had to have a -3 bat. It made the bat a little bit heavier. We couldn't hit balls as fast, but we noticed that we hit balls farther.
Yeah.
It's just, it'd be no different than if they changed the weight requirements of a Major League Baseball. Could you imagine them changing the baseball weight every season, as well as changing the length and weight of a bat, as well as changing the base location to where instead of a 90 foot, it had to be 120 foot here, but 30 feet here. But imagine changing a sport like baseball or basketball or any traditional sport and changing the rules every single season.
Well, last year we had the change in the NFL for the catches, right? They went back and
I think for the 1 hand versus 2. Was that which one are you talking about?
Right, where in the end zone they were talking about. Remember, Des Bryant caught that pass against Green Bay Packers, and they said it wasn't a catch then, but now it would have been a catch to send the Cowboys into another Super Bowl. But we'll talk about that later on because that's what happened again. Yeah, I'm from Dallas for everybody that's watching. But yeah, that definitely as we've seen throughout traditional sports, when a rule change it is tough for them to swallow sometimes. It is hard. We have the helmet situation going on right now in the NFL, right?
And it's one of those things that they're changing the helmets for, especially the NFL with the TBIs and stuff like that. And then it's almost like changing a regulation where they're only allowed to practice. Steen's coming in here, knocking the guy down with his pickaxe.
Meleeing him with the pickaxe as his teammate shoots him with the Brute. What is that zoom in?
What is
real
that?
Quick? Look, he's got the doggy on his back.
That's
here.
adorable.
Yeah, they're having some fun. And
these guys.
Immediately, as you saw there's just nothing that guy could do against the Brute with the teammates.
No.
Now, maybe he was a little more oblivious than most, with Steen's running there with the pickaxe, but it was definitely he didn't have much of a fight, that's for sure.
A lot of these games, especially Fortnite, is really great about it. We're talking about changing the rules and changing the setup and changing the map. And yes, the map is exactly the same shape as it was, but the interior of the map and how the map is put together has literally changed. Just, 10 times now? 9 times?
Well, it has changed. I'm trying to think of how many times, if map changed in Season 2 or not. I'm pretty sure it did change. It did have a new POI in Season 2.
Yeah.
I'm sure our fans out there that are watching the stream will know for sure.
Oh, they're probably throwing it in the Twitch chat right now.
They're probably already
Look, no, it wasn't.
It's in the chat already for us, I'm sure. That's happened a few times. But they do continually change. The maps always change. Like we said, the items almost, there's either a new content update or a new balance update every single week. And every week there's something. Seems like right now, they're fighting the community on, hey, what do we like? What are we balancing? What do we want to do? And
a little bit of a power struggle.
Yeah,
you see it.
And a lot of the community wants them to separate traditional, your normal Fortnite from the competitive scene. Have two different
I can see that.
pools. And that's kind of what most of the pros are reaching for, per se. In this
and you've seen other games that have done that. I know that games like Rainbow Six Siege has a casual versus a competitive.
Right.
And Apex Legends has a competitive, now has a ranked matches. And you see here, actually, Steens is going against 2 mechs. So now it's just going to be who can do it, who can match. Now, Steens is piloting that mech.
Nobody's shooting it
jumped
now.
out. Oh, his gunner got down.
Oh, all right.
Now Concealed just jumped in to take
in.
on that. And it looks like Gilly is the one who got shot right out of the top of that mech.
Quick snipe probably from them. As you see, looks like Ronan's moving over here to go ahead and box him up.
Box him up.
Go ahead and pick him up. And, putting that box around him really just protects him as you go in there. 10 seconds to lift him up, get him out of there. And quickly, you see it happen.
When it protects both of them as well, not only that, but it also gives them a visual and audio cue that they're getting shot at.
Right. Immediately Concealed taking him down with that combat pump real quick. And you saw a little bit of a quicker fire rate from that weapon, and that's what that is there.
And that's that combat pump versus the traditional pump.
Yep. And once again, putting up that wall as he picks up his teammate inside the bush here.
Yeah. And so it looks like Ronan got Gilly up, and they're going to be moving in slowly here. Ronan's in a firefight over on the edge of the storm.
Yeah, and what you see here is he's immediately pushing down that damage. As taking those walls, and they're turbo building, so they're having to use their mats as he continually pushes forward, and they put those stinks down. And as you see, those are hitting 5 damage for every stink. And they're basically not allowing this team to move, right? To not be able to get the cover
down.
They're looking to get, immediately getting that shotgun shot off.
There we go. Concealed coming in with a 7th elimination. That's a lot better than the 1 elimination we saw before. He's really been pushing it. Hey, you know what? All I can say is Ronan here's got 5, so Concealed is more than keeping up with his guys.
Yeah, and they're also on this new part as well, these bones that showed up at the end of Season 9. And, kind of right in the middle of the map almost, just outside of Tilted Town now.
Tilted Town, which was Towers.
Which was Neo.
Which was Neo
Tilted, then Tilted Towers, and then before that, it didn't exist.
As we say, yeah, it's changed. It changes the topography of the map. There's a nice word I learned in college.
Too big for me.
It changes the topography.
Yeah, it does change the topography of the map. And the bones actually play a little big part in that, and not only from a aesthetic standpoint, right, but also from another obstacle for you to have cover, for you to protect from, for you to rotate through.
Now, this campfire here, this helps get back health, right?
It does.
Now, if you stand between the two of them, do you get benefits from both?
You do.
Okay. If you see, that's something I wasn't sure of.
If you stand right between both of them, you'll get the 5 health per second. So you get 10 health.
Okay, yeah, which, of course, is benefit. And then, of course, they also added, what are those, the splash?
Yeah, the splashes. Yep.
Yeah,
so
which gives you that shield back for the
whole. Health and shield. So
okay.
Whatever you're lacking of, if you're already full in health, it'll give you shield. If you're already, if you need more health and you got full shield still, say you drank your pots, and that's already done, then you can go ahead and throw those to give you more health in your HP pool.
Gotcha. Now that's not going to do an overcharge on you.
No. It's no Halo overshield happening.
And was that a junk rift?
That was a junk rift.
That was a junk rift. That Ronan's favorite new toy.
So you see how they have Joe back out, just putting the pressure on the team as Ronan moves in here. He was able to go up that hill, build all the way up, and immediately put the pressure on this team that they saw at the high ground.
Now there you can see that there were only 3 red dots inside that reticle, meaning that he only hit the guy 3 times out of the entirety. And Gilly's here must have run out of... What is he doing here? Oh, he's having fun. You know what? That's what he's doing. And now Steens is down.
Now Steens going down. So we got Steens and Gilly down.
These are the last 2 guys. There's 6 people left. 4 of them are this team.
Correct.
So these are the last 2 guys.
You also learned math in college.
I did. I failed it twice, but I took it a 3rd time. I was there for 7 years. So.
Well, at least you learned how to count. Basic math.
I got my fingers out.
You got your fingers. As long as it's under 10, you're good to go.
If we go over 10, I'll take my shoes off.
It sounds like here that RBK, as long as they're under 10 as well, they seem to be pretty good.
And they're doing all right. It looks like, I really wish I knew where these other... Of course, they probably saying the same things. They wish they knew where the last 2 guys were.
Some people might ask, why is he using a campfire and his bandages? Well, the bandages will only heal you to 75.
Gotcha.
So you can only heal up to 75 with the bandages, and the campfire can push you above that.
Yes. Okay. Because the campfire will bring you back up to 100 if it's got enough time. Because that is the time.
It's all about the time, right? As long as the campfire doesn't burn out. And, that smoke is not just smoke for appearance. It actually tells you if somebody's in that box, if somebody's getting health from that, more than likely, if it's still on, if it's still smoking, there's somebody there.
Which it also that's your double or what is that? What am I trying to say here? That is the benefit as well as the negative is you get that health.
Right.
but then everyone knows where you
The
are.
risk
and you can-
reward.
Thank you.
The risk
Hey,
reward.
and there's a
And we get
victory royale for RBK. They found the guys concealed.
Joao looking like he's never won a victory royale here before. Absolutely having a blast.
Gilly's
the rest
there.
of the team, Steen's I don't know what's happening to the far right side of the table. They seem to be having a lot more fun than the left side of the table.
Joao was here. You know what? You want to know what I think happened here? I think that Joao took the last kill, so he beat his guys in the kill in the elimination count. Because I think Steens and Concealed here were actually both sitting at 70 limbs. And I think when he threw that rocket in, he took the last 2, and he came out for 9.
Kevin from
yeah,
getting it.
so that team.
So what you're saying is we have a little bit of a competition inside of the competition here today with the RBK guys themselves.
You know, everybody is going to win today when it comes down to it because we're here raising money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. So everyone's going to win. We're going to have a good time. And then, I mean, of course, when you bring Luke into the game, you know, you've got it doesn't matter if it's his guys at RBK or if it's his guys on the Braves. Either way, he's coming out on top. His team's on top.
He's definitely trying to win at all times, no matter if he's on that field or he's on that computer.
But I'm looking over here at Joel. I'm looking over here at Concealed, and he's really happy he just beat his guys.
He is really happy for sure. And well, I think for him, you know, he doesn't get that opportunity very much. I don't think. Believe it or not, I don't think these pros sit around and let Joao play with them very often.
I think because of the fact that there's 9 of them. And it's not just that there's 9 of them. There's 9 of them all over the world.
Right.
Because you've got, You've got Ronan in Kansas, and you've got Gilly in Michigan.
Yep.
And you've got Steens in Texas.
Houston, yeah.
And then you've got Left Eye, who's in Sweden.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're an international team here. And then I believe, if I remember correctly, Concealed's down in Florida.
Yeah,
and then Luke is here in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So like, these guys are all over the place. They don't get to come in and play at the same table that often.
I actually asked Joao earlier a little bit about how do they operate all the time? How is this, you know, running an esports organization is not an easy thing to do. Getting off the ground and being successful like they've done is even harder to do.
Yes.
So Joao was telling me a little bit. I said, you know, how involved is Luke? What does Luke do? Obviously, Luke is involved in all the decisions.
Yeah.
But on a day-to-day basis, Joao handles most of it. And then Chase, their brother, Luke's brother, down in Florida as well. Mm-hmm. So him and Joao are together in Florida running RBK day in and day out on Raised by Kings.
Well, and Luke's up here working, you know, playing baseball.
Yeah,
it's
every day he's playing baseball, getting calls from them,
every day he's
trying
playing
to manage
baseball.
that. You know, so what's so interesting about it is, like we've said many times, how these pro players from around the world, whether it be baseball, whether it be football, whether it be basketball, they've all kind of joined in, and soccer too, especially soccer.
Yeah.
Worldwide, these dances that they've taken onto the
field,
right?
The real football.
Right. They've taken onto the field and used, right? And so Fortnite has become this culture that has really just come across all mainstream, you know, sports, all esports. It seems to be making its way through all media.
You know, it's really amazing when you see a kid in the middle of Walmart or the middle of a store anywhere, and he starts doing a dance. And then his parents are looking at him going like, where did he even learn this thing? And it's like, guys, it's on the game.
Yeah.
And where was I? I don't remember where I was. I was somewhere, and I remember seeing one kid doing a dance and then another kid doing a dance. I thought they knew each other. No, they just both knew Fortnite. They both played Fortnite. One kid was dancing, the other kid started to floss, so this kid started to shoot. And then all of a sudden, these kids are playing, and they're getting along, and they'd never met each other before.
Yeah, it's funny. You ever find yourself in that room where you're like, man, I got to break the ice. I'm new here, whatever. I asked my son the other day, I said, what'd you do when you got to school, you know, to say hi to your new friends, of course, to talk Fortnite.
Yeah.
How many Fortnite skins do you have? That's the question he asked the room.
Okay, you know, and that was our generation. How many playing cards you got?
Yeah, that's
or,
right.
Or Pogs.
Right.
I'm aging myself.
Well, we are here, for all those that are just tuning in, we are here at SunTrust Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are raising money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation, playing some Fortnite, having a good time with Raised by Kings, the esports organization, here with us today. But why don't you break down, what is it, for everybody that might not know, what is the Atlanta Braves Foundation?
So, once again, we're going to hit it again. The Atlanta Braves Foundation, the reason why we're here is to raise some money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation, which is the nonprofit arm of the Atlanta Braves, and they just actively support the community here and around Metro Atlanta, and they just keep striving and pushing and trying to improve the quality of life for everybody here that has any type of need that they can't fulfill themselves. You know, whether it's kids in a hospital or it's the All-American Blood Drive or the military outreach. You know, that we have a pretty large military groups here in Atlanta and here in Georgia, and they just reach out, and they've been doing this since 1994.
Yeah.
They've been really pushing it, and we're talking since 1994. We're talking over $7 million in outreach and
Wow.
and not just financials either. Also getting out there and doing some work. You know, actually going out and sweating and doing some work for this. And if you guys want to make a donation, that !donate.
!donate.
We'll bring up the information, as well as braves.com/donate is where you can go, and that you can donate there. And that's really why we're here, to do that. And we're also, while we're doing that, we're also blending esports, which is a new, huge industry that's blowing up all over the world. It's really blowing up in Georgia. It's blowing up. They just had the World Cup, you know. This,
They did. $3 million. It was $100 million total.
16? 16 years old, $3 million pot, and $100 million over the whole thing. And esports is getting huge. It's blowing up.
Yeah.
You've got huge teams getting involved. And we're taking that and we're mixing it with the traditional esports that have been around for my whole life. I don't know anybody that can say, oh, this sport didn't exist when I was a kid.
Right.
This esports didn't exist when I was a kid. We had tournaments.
Yeah.
We had leagues, but we didn't have esports as it is today.
And that's what's so incredible about esports is one day our kids are going to say, I don't remember what it was like before esports.
Exactly.
Right. So
exactly.
I mean, esports is growing around the world, as you guys may know. There's tons of organizations. There's tons of different games that people are involved in. But Fortnite has really brought a lot of this to the forefront, allowing for these kids to change their lives, to have life-changing money. At the end, right now, Fortnite is running a series every week that is $1 million a week they're giving away.
That blows my mind. But I mean, you know what, even more, to talk less about money, which, I mean, of course, we're here to raise some money for the Atlanta Braves, and we've got some stuff to give out that you can have a chance to win, whether it's some signed baseballs or signed prints or any of that for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. But they're learning, it's more than just about making the money. They're learning communication skills. They're learning teamworking skills. They're learning all these different ways to work with people of different backgrounds and different cultures and different areas. I mean, we've got 4 people here, all of which live in different regions, some of which were from different countries, were born in different countries. And then you take all of that. I mean, I don't know about you. My best friend I met 5 years ago playing video games. We were states apart, and he literally lives an hour from me now.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up. My best friend I met about 12 years ago playing Gears of War, believe it or not. So my wife used to joke with me all the time. She said, all your friends are on the internet. And I said, yes, all my friends are on the internet because that's the people I spend time with. But you know what? When my wife got pregnant with our first child, she said, now I understand. I said, what do you mean? She said, I went and joined a Facebook group that was for moms that were pregnant, having their kid at a certain time of the year, and you know all these similarities they had. And she's like, now, well, guess what? We travel around the world to see some of her friends she meets. So just like Facebook, just like some of these groups that maybe something that was important to other people when they were in high school, right? Like a fraternity or something, that camaraderie that's there is the same camaraderie that's happening in gaming.
It's very similar. I mean, I was moving down here for a job interview, and this guy who I had never met before in person in my life, him and his wonderful fiance were like, no, come and crash on our couch. You don't need to get a hotel room. I mean, and this is a guy that I met playing video games, just my internet friends, if you will. And, you know, oh, is he even a real person? It's a lifelong relationships that you can build playing video games.
Well, and one thing that's been lifelong impacting is these charities that are happening on Twitch and everywhere else, all these platforms. And really over the past year and a half, we've seen a lot of these charities come through and raise millions of dollars for kids, millions of dollars. And so this is another great opportunity if you're out there and you want to donate $1, $5, $10, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. !donate in the chat.
Absolutely.
You can see it there. And you guys can go ahead and donate. Like I said, every dollar counts. Every dollar matters. We're going to have some pro players in here in just a little bit from the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
They're going to step in and play with some of these RBK guys. I can't wait for that. But, yeah, like I said, don't forget, guys, we're here to drive an awareness for the Atlanta Braves Foundation and raise some money for all the great causes happening here in Atlanta, Georgia.
And you can actually see right below, to make sure I got it right, you're going to see it on the screen periodically, braves.com/donate. That brings you right to the website where you're able to donate. And even $1 can be that right amount that just takes it right over the line to change somebody's life, to really help them out in a time of need. And that's the community building that esports is doing as well, that we were just talking about. Everyone's getting together and working on things, and everyone's getting together and everyone's struggling on something, and sometimes you just need a little help. And the Atlanta Braves Foundation supplies some of that help here in Atlanta.
Oh, they supply a lot of help.
Yeah.
And like you said, for years and years and years, they've been doing this here in Atlanta, providing for the community, helping out the community, helping those in need. And if you can't donate $1 today, if you can't help out financially, you can still help by tweeting out, by sharing the link with your friends, by chatting with everybody else in the chat, and just be active. And we're here to have fun tonight. Look, we're not your Fortnite World Cup casters that are coming to you. Shout out to all of my Fortnite World casters out there. But we're here to have a fun time with you guys and raise some money for the Atlanta Braves and bring awareness to one of the great things the city does.
They just brought a mech inside. I looked at you and I looked back.
You just got captivated by the brute.
And the brute showed up and downed 2 of the guys, and there's another. And I don't think they got a boogie bomb. I don't think they. Oh. They did.
Well, so
almost enough.
Ronan
damage.
is actually.
Oh, Ronan stole it.
Ronan is in it now, and Casilda is down, and Steens once again saves the day.
And it looks like he's got to get the dance off before he picks up those.
Wow.
And that's what it's about.
I thought Ronan was going to get up and dance here in the room for a second there.
I thought
he was so excited. I didn't know what was going to happen. But yeah, as we saw, guys are having a great time already.
We're here. I mean, we're here to raise the money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation, and we're here to have some fun. I mean, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right.
You're not. And that's one of the things about Fortnite, right? Is it's built around having this fun experience. It's not necessarily always taken so serious, right? It's not, hey, I got to win. Hey, I got to get this elimination. Hey, I got to do that. And that's not always the case. One of the most entertaining things about Fortnite is being able to jump in and just have a good time with your friends. They have creative mode as well. I was playing Prop Hunt with some friends the other day. You know what Prop Hunt is?
I heard about this.
Okay.
It's just the one where you get changed into a specific item.
Pick any item on the map and you become it.
And then they have to try to figure out which one you are.
It's like hide and go seek. It's the ultimate hide and go seek. Now we're too old to do that, right?
That was
a creative mode that they dropped in the game.
That's phenomenal. I didn't even. I'll have
and
to
at
check
World
that out.
Cup, they actually had the Creative World Cup where they brought people from around the world and competed in these fun games the very first day. And they ended up dropping some of those modes that they showed us at the Fortnite World Cup. They ended up dropping them here for players to play last week and the couple weeks before.
But that's also why Epic is really such a big name here, and why Fortnite is picking up so well, because they're doing that type of thing.
Absolutely.
They're listening to their players, and they're doing it more and more, and they're really keeping the game alive. That's always been my problem with certain games, is I play them for a little bit and then I get bored.
Epic does a great job of. They do one thing, whether you like it or not. They do one thing, and that's always that they're updating their game. They're trying to give you something new to play, something new to enjoy.
You got it.
Change it up. It's never going to be the same. And yes, are there periods of time that some players like it more than others? Absolutely, but unfortunately, that's all games.
That is, I cannot think of a game that has updates that gets updated on even a semi-regular basis that I can say I liked at all times. And I've played a lot of games. You do not want to see my library. You don't want to see my desktop.
Ooh, I thought for sure he was going to be able to get that sniper, that heavy sniper there. As you see, he has that legendary out. And this is kind of a dangerous spot to be built up because they don't have a lot of support underneath them.
But they do have that mech to back
But
them
here
up.
comes Steens. And Steens is going to jump on top of that platform, pushing Ronan down. But immediately, his teammates catch him. That was unbelievable. And as that brute continually moves in here, doing the force of what it does best, which is just destroying everything in its
with
wake.
that stomp.
That's absolutely what's going on. And you see those 10 rockets immediately coming out. Gilly sitting in this I guess, what do you call it, the captain's chair, perhaps?
I mean, if he wasn't driving. I believe it'd give you the gunner's chair.
The gunner's chair. That might be the better word. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, that might be the better word, the gunner's chair. But immediately you saw him using that shockwave, and what that allows you to do is that'll impulse you. So it's a shockwave pulse, so it shoots you in the air, but it also protects you. Unlike our regular pulse nades that we have, the shockwave nade actually allows you to, when you get launched by it, you're protected
put up a wall
for a
trap
second.
right here.
So no fall damage.
Gotcha. Okay. And right, Steen's just out building that one.
Yeah, immediately he knows that he had the advantage on the player, pushing up and taking that player by making that quick edit.
Yeah, yeah. And, that's my weak spot of the game. Building a tower is one thing. Building a room, building a 4x4 to protect yourself and get your boys up. Like, get your people up, get your squad up. Like, that's something that anybody can do. What really sets the player apart from the pro player are those quick edits.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things about Fortnite,
and
right?
this movement.
Yeah, well, that I think comes with a lot of time and play, right? And so does building. But the thing about it is that one of the key components about Fortnite that makes it so different from every battle royale is the simple fact that you can build. You have you have something that is not what they call RNG based. You can go and control the mats you have. You can control the structures you build, which a lot of games, they take that out.
Now what Steens is doing right here, he's the only one alive, and he just tried to bring back all 3 of his teammates.
Correct. So
but they blew up them. They got him in. He did. He brought his whole team back in.
You can't destroy the vans. You can't destroy the revive vans. But what he was shooting on top was the mech. So he had destroyed the brute on top
of
that. Just so they couldn't get back into it, but immediately bringing his team back because he had their cards. And we see once more Joel go down, Steens go down, and Gilly immediately getting taken out as the player 330 pushes through that one by one and taking him out. And Ronan now, the last one alive.
Absolutely. Well, and when Steens, of course, brought them in, they don't come back with their gear.
Steens with that shotgun, throwing that poison on top of him so his teammate couldn't revive him. Immediately going down.
That was rough, guys.
Oh, man.
Sometimes you do the pushing, and sometimes you get pushed.
That's
it just
what
comes
happened
down
there for sure. Well, it looks like we have some of the pro players.
We got some of the guys coming in.
The Braves game is over. We haven't been updated on the score, so hopefully that all went well.
We'll have to figure that out in a minute. But just to reintroduce ourselves, I am Marshall ISO Garrison, and I'm
Too Loud TX, Troy Tuttle, Too Loud TX as well, host of the Fortnite podcast. And you, my friend Marshall, have been joining me here today, and It's been a lot of fun. You are the specialist on the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And what's going on? So talk to us. Why are we here today? What are we doing?
So what we're doing right now, what we're getting ready to get started is we've got a Fortnite tournament being put on that's going to benefit the Atlanta Braves Foundation. The Atlanta Braves Foundation is the nonprofit arm of the Atlanta Braves, and we're going to be bringing in some of the Atlanta Braves baseball players, some of the traditional athletes, and we're bringing them in to play alongside some of these esports athletes.
Yeah.
So from RBK specifically. And RBK and the Braves, they know each other, and because RBK, one of the owners of RBK is
Luke Jackson. So obviously Luke has a lot of interest in video games, if you don't know, but he is one of the owners of Raised by King esports organization. These guys have come on the map in the past year. They've had some great players come through their organization, like Elevate, who went to WSOE, won $40,000 along with his partner C's there. Yeah. Both of them end up going to the Fortnite World Cup. I think they got 4th place in their duos. I'm not sure. But then they also had Left Eye, who was at the World Cup as well. And, he made the long trip all the way across the pond.
He did, having RBK being literally an international esports team. Right. You've got guys in Kansas, and you've got guys in Michigan, you've got guys in Texas, and you've got guys all the way over in Sweden.
Other countries, everywhere, all the way around the world.
Sweden's got a lot of esports, a lot of esports players, and people don't think esports and think Sweden. They don't think video games and think Sweden. But I believe it's a full 3 players from RBK are from Sweden?
Yeah, I believe it's 2. 2. But it might be 3 if they have signed. Joe Al could probably tell us. But, definitely, like you said, international team. They've literally launched this. This is Luke Jackson and Joe Owls and Chase Jackson's passion. This is one of the things that they're really passionate about. Besides baseball, obviously very passionate about esports. And so they own, like we said, the Raised by Kings. They've brought some of their players here today to play alongside of them so that we can raise some money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And hopefully give into some of these great causes that they do here in the Atlanta Metro.
And at the Atlanta Players Cup, which is what we're doing here, is going directly towards the Atlanta Braves Foundation. It's Metro Atlanta. They've been around since 1994. They've just keep providing thousands and millions of dollars of support, both in like financial means as well as in kind, to just getting out there and really sweating and really building and giving back to the community. And it's a way for the Atlanta Braves to really give back to Metro Atlanta, because I mean, Atlanta and the Braves, I mean, you can't really.
It's been pretty remarkable.
Being
here today at SunTrust has been awesome. It's my first time here at the stadium. It's my first time here at what do you guys call this area that's right outside?
I am new to Atlanta. I have not. This was not. Okay, so I went to high school down here.
Okay.
I graduated high school in 2000. And it's been a while, and it's been quite a while, and none of this was here. So I couldn't even tell you what it's called.
It's absolutely unbelievable what they've built around the stadium here. All of the retail zones, all the restaurants, everything they got going on here at Atlanta is just unbelievable at SunTrust. And I'm really excited to watch some of these players now that have been playing here at SunTrust Field coming here and play some Fortnite.
It looks like we got Luke pulling up.
We do. We got Luke Jackson sitting down as well. Looks, man, I think he just came straight from the field, straight in here.
I did. I mean, I'm hoping he showered. I can't smell him from here, so.
That's good. We're left on this
side. And
of
course, he's wearing that RBK jersey right now.
Yeah, he is wearing his RBK jersey, that's for sure. And Sean Newcomb as well.
Yes. Yeah, that's who's. And they're coming in. It looks like they're gonna sit side by side and see what they can do. I don't know.
I wonder who we're going to pair them up here with. We don't know yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to break into two teams. We're going to talk about the scoring a little bit here in a second, but they're going to break them into two teams, and it's going to be a little bit of a battle. I hope we get some competition happening.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have a red team versus blue team. We're going to just randomly assign a Braves player with an RBK player, and then as we go through, we're going to keep score, and at the end of it, we're going to see who wins. And it's all for fun. I mean, it's for fun, and it's to raise money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation.
Right.
But this here is just a way to. They had a good night, right? Yeah, they definitely had a good night.
They did. 5-0 the Marlins.
5-0.
Way to go for the Atlanta Braves here tonight.
So now we just had a win here at SunTrust Stadium, and now we need to see how many wins we can get down here. Now we have it set up to where we want them to play a little more aggressively. We kind of weighted it a little towards eliminations that we did over placements. We don't want these guys playing safe. We want them pushing. We want them playing. We want them having fun. We want them being aggressive.
We want to still see some action here tonight. Yeah. Is what you're saying, Marshall. We want to see the nitty-gritty action of Fortnite.
Absolutely, and we really want to see what these guys can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So.
How would we donate? Let's talk a little about. We've talked a little bit about the foundation again, but let's talk about how can you donate? What are we donating to for those that are just now joining the stream?
Okay, so just to give it a donation, to donate, it's braves.com/donate. Right here, braves.com/donate. And then when you donate, you do get a chance to win some really awesome prizes. It is a chance. It's got 5 baseballs that are signed by different Braves players. We also have 2 Luke Jackson autographed baseballs. He's signed in those ones specifically. And then 2 autographed to 8x10 photographs. And, of course, those are going to be for some Braves players as well. Now, we do have a little intro video here to introduce ourselves to the to what we're doing tonight.
Let's see what the Atlanta Players Cup is all about.
Let's see it.
are. Welcome back
Welcome
to
back.
SunTrust Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, man. I'm excited to get this one kicked off. We got the pro players filing in here finally. After the game, a 5-0 win over the Marlins. And they look pumped up, but I think I'm more pumped up than they are right now.
I'm honestly ready to see what these professional baseball players can do, especially alongside some professional Fortnite players. I'm hoping they mesh really well. I want to. I don't want the RBK guys to just.
I think what you're going to continually find is that these pro players that are coming in here, and most of these guys signed up immediately. We put out the sign list. They signed up.
Yeah.
They wanted to come in here
excited.
and play Fortnite with these pro Fortnite players. But I think it's also because they're competitors, right? They know what it's like to win. They know what it's like to go through that grind that these players are having to go through. But they also do it as their hobby. This is what a lot of these guys do when they want to go home after they have a long day at the ballpark, right? They want to sit down and play some video games and enjoy themselves. And so although they might not have 10 hours to donate to it, I think because they are pro players, they are competitive, that competitive nature is going to shine through.
That competitive nature is definitely going to shine through. And, of course, that's why we brought together the Atlanta Players Cup here. And this is all to benefit the Atlanta Braves Foundation, which, of course, the Atlanta Braves Foundation being that nonprofit arm of the Atlanta Braves, giving back to Metro Atlanta since 1994. They've been doing some amazing things. They've been really instrumental in a lot of people's lives. I mean, everything from blood drives to helping out with the Atlanta hospitals and doing some military outreach and women and children and all. They have given over $7 million since they started to different charities, whether it's financial or just in-kind assistance and getting out there and really doing the work.
Yeah.
Because sometimes money isn't enough, and sometimes you don't have it. And if you don't have the money, you can always just go and help. Volunteer work.
Yep.
Doing volunteer work really helps out as well.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, if you guys want to donate, you can donate. ! Donate in the chat if you're on Twitch.
Yeah.
You can go to braves.com/donate to donate with them as well. And if you can't donate $1, $10, if you can't do that, that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
But help us out in other ways. Share the link with other people. Tweet it out, put it on your Facebook, share it with others that may be able to help out and donate as well, and just get the awareness out there that we're here raising money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation.
Now, one of the cool things, though, is if you are able to donate, you are going to be put into the running. It's going to be a random drawing on donations, whether it's just a random drawing of 5. You can get a baseball autographed by a Braves player, or you can get one of the 2 baseballs that Luke Jackson himself autographed. There's also 10 autographed 8x10 photographs of the Braves players, and they've given these things just to give you, once again, it's all about that competition. You put that stuff in there, and maybe you win. Maybe you don't, but feel good because you gave back to the Atlanta Braves Foundation, who's given so much to Atlanta, and really just helped out so many people.
And I know, as you mentioned before, Luke Jackson, a key part to all this that's happening as well. His passion for gaming, his passion for Atlanta, being part of the Atlanta Braves here. He wanted to make sure that we did this, and we were able to be able to team up with Raised by Kings, which is his esports organization that he's part of, along with Chase Jackson and Joel and Raised by Kings. So for those that may be tuning in, Raised by Kings is here with us today in the stadium, playing alongside these pro players to, like I said, raise awareness, raise some money for the Atlanta Players Foundation.
The Atlanta Braves Foundation.
Braves Foundation.
Yeah. So RBK, we actually RBK flew in. Now we're getting a bunch of guys in. And I'm trying to see who just came in here. These lights are in my eyes.
They're all funneling in as these players. I think as soon as they jump out of the showers, they're running in here to get their spot.
I believe I see Ronald Acuña Jr.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see who else I see over here. We're gonna get to that in a minute. So what's gonna happen now is we're gonna team these guys up with a random RBK guy. All right. So RBK player and an Atlanta Braves. They're gonna play duos.
Yeah.
All right. So they're gonna play these duos. We're gonna keep score. We're going to go over the scoring in just a few minutes, but we're going to keep score. We're going to see who wins. Now, the competition is all about the fun for the competition, right? But we're talking about esports athletes, and we're talking about traditional athletes. These guys don't just play for fun. They do play for fun and enjoyment, but once you say competition, these guys are really, they buckle down and they're going to try. They're not going to be trolling and throwing
Oh no. These guys don't.
They're not playing like
Don't get me
bots.
wrong. Although we're here to have a fun event.
Yeah.
They are definitely going to be taking this serious.
Yes, absolutely.
More so probably than even our pro Fortnite players, because they want to show that they're not just great baseball players, that they're also great Fortnite players as well. So that's what we're going to get to see. A little inside, maybe some rivalries happen on the team
We'll
here
see.
in some Fortnite.
Well, and then hopefully with the Atlanta Players Cup, it's just this initiative to help fundraise with local charities, doing these types of tournaments with different celebrities, and especially with Fortnite, which is the most popular game in the world right now. Right, and we are launching right now with the Atlanta Braves, and then maybe there'll be a challenge to some other teams in the local area.
Yeah.
Maybe. But make sure, guys, remember, all of this has to come down to the Atlanta Braves Foundation, and that's why we're here. That's why all the Braves are here. That's why RBK is here. And here we go. Now we're going to have, it looks like we got a full 4 squad of the Braves.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see how they do here. We'll give them a little bit of warm-up. You're going to 2v2 is what I was just told.
Yeah, Lou Jags looked over, just told us a little 2v2.
2v2 here.
To give you a little other pointers about the Atlanta Braves Foundation, is that the Atlanta Braves Foundation is a nonprofit arm of the Atlanta Braves, actively supporting the community through all of Atlanta.
All of it, yeah.
The foundation continually strives to improve the quality of life for youth throughout the metro area. Since 1994, the inception of the foundation, the Atlanta Braves Foundation has provided, like you said, $7 million, I believe it is?
Yep, $7 million, over $7 million.
And supporting over thousands of metro foundations here.
Yeah.
So that's what, this is really what it's all about, right? We can play sports, whether it be traditional or esports, but at the end of the day, can we use what we have, our abilities, our skills, to better our communities, right? And that's what we're trying to do here today in Atlanta, is better our community, have an opportunity to donate to the Atlanta Braves Foundation tonight.
Well, and when we asked Luke, when we asked some of the players, hey, who do the Atlanta Braves Foundation, who do they support, who do they work with? And their response was, who do they not work with?
Yeah.
They're really everywhere, doing as much as they can and really throwing it back into the community and really giving that, building us back up.
There might be some of you out there that have been affected by the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Maybe you've been affected. They've helped you out. They've got you through some troubles, and maybe it's time to donate back to them as well. So like we said, if it's $1, if it's $2, if it's 50 cents, whatever it is that you can help out with out there, it's great. If it's a tweet, if it's a Facebook post, whatever it is, driving awareness here is our key, and we definitely want to give everybody the opportunity to be able to donate today.
And honestly, that's one of the best ways. If you don't have it financially, don't feel bad. Like, I don't. I know that for a fact. But what you can do is you can retweet it. You can share it on Facebook. You can get other people to just come and watch, and maybe they'll have $1.
Yeah.
And then if they share it, and then they share it, and then they share it, you know exactly how that works.
Yeah. No. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about these players we have.
We've
right
got our
here.
first 4. We're going to introduce them here. The first one's going to be Luke Jackson, of course, owner of RBK, one of the owners of RBK. And that's him right there.
27 years old, born in August 24th, 1991. He is a right-handed pitcher.
Yes, he is.
And, Joe Al's favorite pitcher, we talked, maybe a little biased, but.
Maybe a little bit, just a little bit. Of course, the next being Sean Newcomb, 26 June, 93, left-handed pitcher. So we got the southpaw coming around. And he's from Randolph, Massachusetts, went to Hartford and Hartford, Connecticut, which is really funny because my mom lived in Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh. I doubt your mom probably knew him.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Next, we have Ronald Acuña Jr., age 21, December 18th, 1997 is where he's born. Position, he is a left fielder. So if you've tonight, I saw this ball driven to left field and immediately caught, and there was no question in my mind that Ronald definitely had that one under wraps.
I think it's because he's wearing my number, but that's okay. It's okay.
And the next one we have here is coming up. All right. Maybe it's not. Oh, yeah, here we go.
There we go. Up, Ozzie Albies. Got you. 22, January 7, 97. He's a second baseman from Orlando, Florida. And he's originally from Curacao.
Wow.
And he speaks 4 languages. 3 of those that I've heard of and 1 that I've never heard of.
You think he can conquer some Fortnite? I mean, if he can conquer 4 languages, I'm sure he can.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I would hope so. I mean, we're going to see pretty soon here. So I believe Luke was telling us we're going to be a 2v2. And we're going to set it up. Now, I did notice. See, I'm a PC guy.
Yep.
I'm a mouse and keyboard guy.
Yeah, what do we got going on here?
I noticed that Luke, we got Luke playing mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
He's a PC guy.
All right.
but it looks to me like we've got 3 controllers.
That's right.
And I'm
Controller
not,
gang staying strong here today.
That's
I'm
right, 'cause you're
yes,
a
that's right. I'm a
controller
controller
guy.
player, so I'm excited about the controllers coming out here.
right.
You know, all my guys from RBK, they're always flaunting the mouse and keyboard, but I'm very glad that we
Yeah.
actually get a chance here to be able to shoot it with some, with some controls in hand.
You know, I think the last time I saw people playing mouse and keyboard versus controller, it didn't go too well.
Oh, you know what? It actually didn't go too bad at the Fortnite World Cup.
At the Fortnite World Cup, it didn't go too. It went pretty well.
Yeah,
At,
I mean,
at another place where they were playing some Rainbow Six Siege, it didn't work nearly as well because Fortnite is not just about shooting. Fortnite is not just about the gunplay. Fortnite has to. You have to worry about positioning. You have to worry about building. You have to worry about map placement. You got to worry about the teamwork and all of the other aspects. And it's not just about the gunplay itself, which is why I am horrible at Fortnite because I cannot build. I couldn't even tell you what my keybind for an edit is. I couldn't even tell you.
Well, I can tell you this. So if you know this, at second place at the Fortnite World Cup, Rojo and Wolfies, yeah, one of them is a controller player.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they won second place at Fortnite. I think it was like $1.2 million, $1.5 million. So
Respect on their
winning with a
name.
controller is still an option that you could do, and it's one that I do every day. We're going to see here if they can tackle that and get some victory royales with a controller in hand. And, you know, our RBK pros, they're having a good time laughing about it over here, giving me a hard time. But we're going to see what happens. We're going to see if they're able to pull one together. Can our pros maybe get a couple more wins than the RBK guys did? We'll see. All right, Luke's saying lucky if they get out of tilted.
You know,
if they're dropping there, that's because they're planning not to build. So
yeah. Let's see if they can build. Let's see if they can get out of at least their drop. Hopefully they don't drop too hot. No build zone. There we go.
It is going to be
We're
interesting
calling
to
it.
see where are they going to drop at, and in this 2v2 action, are they going to be aggressive?
Yeah.
Are they going to be watching?
You know, I hope we're aggressive because we are going to be picking up the scoring system.
Yes, first game we're doing a warm up of just like squad.
Oh, so Luke's calling for a warm-up game first.
Warm up game.
He's been warming up all night,
Okay.
but now he wants a warm-up game.
He didn't spend, so he went from one bullpen to another. We're going to give him some time to warm up.
Yes.
And we're going to see what they can do. What they can do in this squad, all right. And then once they let them warm up some, and then we're going to go over the tournament. We'll go over the tournament scoring
Yeah.
because you know when it comes down to it, we're going to keep that little bit of competitiveness going. We got to keep that going.
Well, as you see here, it's definitely getting a little competitive. They're wanting a warm-up game. You don't take a warm-up game to a pickup basketball game, okay?
That is true.
You don't say, hey, let me warm up before you pick me, okay? You just go play.
The guy that shows up on the field and they're like, "You ready to play?" And you're like, "Wait, let me stretch. Hold on. I got to stretch. I don't want to pull a hammy."
Yeah, you should have been here earlier to stretch. I'm ready to start the game right now.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess Luke can do what he wants. We'll let him.
No, we do. You know what though? I'm going to side with them on this one. They do need a little bit of a warm up because RBK has been warming up for an hour.
That's true. They have
not
been.
just warming up, but they've also been winning for an hour. But you know, they have had their warm up. Now it's time for their warm up. Hopefully, we can meet in the middle and everybody can play well and really get out there. They can remember what buttons do what. Which is the really important part.
What buttons do what?
Yeah.
Just press them all at one time and see what occurs.
Just button mash. Get out of the so they're going to get out of their baseball brain and get into their Fortnite brain.
Well, we see Luke Jackson already jumping in here. He's look at it. He's getting locked down. I think he's getting all his settings set.
Yeah.
Making sure he feels comfortable enough. You know, did they get out his own keyboard? Or they didn't get out his. He did bring his own keyboard. But they didn't get it out.
No,
he's going to stay with the final mouse though. He is playing with the final mouse for everybody that wants to know.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, he does love it, and I believe it was one of the original ones.
Oh, really?
I was talking to him about it because they're so lightweight.
What series is that final mouse? Phantom.
Oh, is it the Phantom? Is that the first one?
So he's playing with a Phantom, and the RBK guys obviously they know, but they I think one of them said they're going to take it from him after we get done here.
I mean, I think they're going to try.
Oh, okay. He might have something to say about that?
Maybe. All right, so we got Ozzie Albies here. He's going to be playing, and of course, he's one of our controller guys.
Right.
And he's going to be killing it.
Second baseman for the Atlanta Braves.
Second baseman, you got it. And then we've got Ronald Acuña Jr., that left fielder. That's where, and I keep telling him.
He just looks like he's ready.
And I gotta go for him though. This is my boy. I gotta back him up because we had the same
Did
number.
his shirt say, "So what if they can't find you"? Is that
I
are
think
we
it's
waiting
exactly
for
what
him
it
to
said.
get a bush?
Maybe.
Anyways,
maybe.
we got
Sean
Newcomb as well.
All right, and of course, he swapped it up because we've got 2 PlayStation controllers, and he swapped down to an Xbox controller.
So we have 2 position players playing against 2 pitchers.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess we're gonna see which ones have more time to practice. Ooh.
It's going to be interesting.
We're gonna see how this goes, and then of course Luke Jackson here he's gonna be our PC guy
Yeah.
with the mouse and the keyboard.
You know, you can't own Raised by Kings
That's true.
and then not play on mouse and keyboard. I
That is
think
true.
Maybe your clout or your credit might go down quite a bit if you did
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
'Cause that
yeah.
happens to me a lot when I tell people I'm a controller player.
Yeah, you know, I did not know about number 2 duo having a controller player, and I now have to reevaluate my life.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Believe it or not, for anybody that's wondering, there is, I guess you could say, some disparity in controller players versus PC players in the Fortnite world because what they call the L2 spam. For everybody that's out there
Is that
that's
what it
wondering what L2 spam is, basically, you need a little bit of help when you're using a controller because the precision isn't as easy to get as it is with a mouse and keyboard. So they have this thing called auto aim. It's so when you hold down your left trigger in Fortnite, it will give you some assistance to try to catch that player on the initial pull. And so what people will do is they'll pull a bunch of times to try to get them.
So it just kind of keeps going like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So eventually,
Okay.
It does give you a little bit of help, but look, you still got to be good. You still got to be solid, be able to perform, especially at the high level.
I mean, and the building is the more important part. We've already talked about that. The building is more important than the shooting.
That's true. Your mechanics in the game are ideal, whether it is shooting or building, but building is definitely a key part of it.
Absolutely.
Given Fortnite.
Absolutely.
So, but let's go ahead and jump in here with Luke Jackson.
Yeah.
We're going to see where they're going today. Looks like they are going ahead and going to Tilted.
It looks like they're dropping in Tilted.
Looks like they're going to Tilted Town.
We're
going to
see how this goes. All right.
Maybe hasn't seen any of Fortnite in Season 10, you can't build in Tilted Town. It's one of the new areas that they brought in, and it can frustrate some people, but it can also play to some benefit for some of those players that aren't great builders. It's a great location to drop. And as you may hear the RBK guys in the background, it's perfect for baseball players because they can't build. I don't know how that's going to go over with Luke. He might have have to pick that up with the guys later, but we're going to see here today if the baseball players can build. Can Luke drop
that looks spicy.
It looks really spicy and definitely the type of drop we want. You saw how it
changed.
Welcome
to Tilted Town.
Yeah,
no building, no breaking.
A little themed, a little throwback to the Western theme
there.
I
love this.
And immediately we see Sean dropping in.
Sean picking up a shotgun.
Immediately.
That is a good gun to drop on, I'm telling you.
Immediately able to pull out that pump. And, I was trying to figure out if he figured out how to run because he was walking everywhere for a second. But
it looks like Luke's down and thirsty.
Luke is down and out without anybody else seeming to even have an engagement yet. We got Ozzie over here.
And found it a pump.
Immediately running and picking up that pump. And you see those indications on the screen showing that sounds come from...
All right, and then Sean Newcomb getting dropped.
That's two down. So we got Luke
Ozzie's
and Sean.
And
the
Ozzie
pitchers went out first.
The pitchers are done.
Pitchers are out first here, live at SunTrust. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I guess maybe they just stood in one place for too long.
maybe that did happen, but it looks like Ronald
Acuña Jr. is coming up. He hasn't even gotten shot at yet.
Already got a full loadout.
I'm having a problem here. I feel like I should be doing this whole thing.
No, you shouldn't be doing the whole thing in that voice.
It doesn't make you feel more at home?
No, it doesn't make me feel more comfortable in the situation at all.
I was trying.
But you do see that on his loadout, he has that pump shotgun, obviously.
Yeah, and Ozzie Albies here. He's got a pretty good loadout. I'm not going to complain about that. He's got a pump. It looks like a pump, an AR, a double barrel. And
he has that rare shotgun. He does have that double barrel. Just go ahead and drop in those minis for his teammate there so they can pick him up. And
now he has two legendary double barrels.
Yeah, that'll be fun, especially since
and he's dropping one.
They removed the shotgun delay pullout in Fortnite.
Okay.
So no longer is there a delay when you switch from one shotgun to another. And immediately we see him.
There we go.
Able to get it down, and maybe a little smack talk. Gonna come out to these pitchers after this one.
I guess here's the question: are they gonna go pick up those reboots? Did they pick him up?
I think because it's 2v2, they're not going to pick up the reboots. They're letting them die.
Oh, that's
they're going against each other here. We're going to see
Oh,
what
that's
happens.
right. They're a little competing against themselves right in the middle of here.
Ozzie quickly going ahead and dropping
looks
some
like
ammo.
he's helping
and these techniques that we're seeing here are not like
these aren't
novice
beginner
techniques.
stuff. No.
This isn't like, hey, drop ammo for me. Hey, drop mats for me. That doesn't typically happen in your novice pickup games. So, these guys are bringing a little bit of knowledge to the Fortnite world that, maybe we didn't expect to see here tonight, Marshall.
I honestly, he's sitting here. They're sharing mats. They're sharing ammo. They're really taking care of each other, working as a team. If you look, they're not really moving as a team too well, but they are definitely, at least they're in the same area. And they're not too far outside of the storm.
They are a tilted town, not too far, as we see here. They indicated that line that's going straight towards the white circle there. That indicates the shortest route to get to the circle for everybody that's out there. So it's like, hey, if you follow this white line, you can get to the safe zone.
Yeah.
If the quickest way this direction. But immediately we see them
Oh, look,
working
and they did
tilted.
pick up one of them. They did pick up one of the reboot cards. Let's see if they're actually going to bring him back in and let him play some more.
I don't know. It just depends, right? I don't know if are they supposed to? Is that against the rules? Although we don't really have a straight rule set completely.
Oh, wait, you know what?
But immediately getting that shotgun and getting taken out.
Okay, that's what it was. I didn't see Ozzie had gotten down.
He had Ozzie's card to revive him there, but immediately, as you see on the right side of the screen there, both the pitchers going out early game, not even able to get the elimination.
Yeah, really not.
And Ozzie and Ronald able to come out on top on that one.
I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't that much of a warm up.
And we see Luke. Luke, he's just ready to play again. First one out, and he's ready to get lit up on it.
He's ready to go. He's already ready to go ahead and just re-queue up for the next one. Sean Newcomb's looking around. He's trying to figure out, are they playing another one? Are they not? Are they ready to go? All right. And it looks like they are going to do one more. Let's see if they're going to work as a full squad or they're going to keep this 2v2 action, that little inner competition.
Did you know, fun facts about Luke Jackson, is that he was actually the Nolan Ryan Minor League Pitcher of the Year in 2013 when he played for the Frisco Rough Riders. You know that?
I did not know that.
That's true. And the reason why I like these facts so much is because he comes from my hometown. Believe it or not, he played for the Rangers for a little bit before he got traded to Atlanta.
Luke did.
Luke did.
I honestly can say I didn't know that.
Yeah, played for the Texas Rangers a little bit, and my heart, left a little bit when he had to go, but.
But you're not holding it against him.
I'm not holding it against him
much,
and not too much. But he is. Let's just say, I wish he was pitching like this when he was in Dallas. If you know what I mean.
Maybe it's just Texas.
Although I'm sure Atlanta is so happy to have him here, and he's been having a great year.
Yeah, he's been having a great year. They've been playing really well. I believe they're in first place right now.
Yeah.
And then following a win, and they're going to be dropping in on this next match. You see, and we're going to be following Luke here. It looks like, where are they?
Dropping in Paradise.
Dropping in Paradise.
Going ahead and dropping here in Paradise. Oh, one of the. I could be incorrect on this, but I believe it was season? When did Paradise come in? Maybe season 7? I think season 7. I could be wrong.
Sounds right to me.
If my 7-year-old was here, he could tell me because he knows all the facts.
I can't track that long. I've slept since then. So now they're dropping into Paradise, which means that they can start shooting, but they can also start building, right? So we got to make sure that they remember.
I got corrected over here already. Season 5 is
Season 5 is when Paradise Bombs come in.
So, but
okay.
Immediately you see Ronald go to 3 health, falling off the top there. He was holding that nade, getting ready to throw it at the opponent that he saw.
Yeah.
But he did down a player as well. So with that nade went ahead and downed him. But he does survive to live another day.
He does survive, barely, but he survived. And then you got Luke. Luke is downed again. So, I definitely have to. Oh, it looks like Ozzie Albies is going to come over here. Is he blocking him out? Blocking him in?
Yeah,
there we go.
using that shockwave
All
to
right,
get over
he
to
is
going to
get him up this
time.
Damage. Yeah. That's a wonderful way to do it. You can use that because that mitigates all your fall damage regardless, right? Yeah. And then we have a guy come around the corner.
Picking up Ozzie immediately as Sean sees it happen, pushing in and taking out that revolver.
There's the hit.
Doing a little bit of damage and go ahead and eliminate that player off the bat. Immediately, how many cards we got here? 3 or 4 right in this little zone. And immediately he can pick up 2 of those cards and be able to revive his teammates from the reboot fan.
Oh, whoa, what's going on here?
Immediately you saw his nades
in.
come in, getting shot, not even realizing it's coming from his back. He's looking the wrong direction. getting hit from multiple sides.
That
Sean
that
getting
pincer
put
move.
down.
All right,
Trying to
and
get that rocket launcher so he could get that elimination, but not able to secure it.
he's not able to
And we see
secure that.
Ozzie having a good time laughing it out there with him.
Man, I don't know what's going on with these guys right now. So you know what? I can say it's better that it's really good that they play baseball a little better than they're playing Fortnite tonight.
Definitely, I wouldn't tell them to quit their day jobs and start trying to be pro players at esports.
Yeah. I would not switch from baseball to
No,
Fortnite.
no, not in
just
their
yet.
Not in their cards.
Not just yet.
Definitely not in their cards just yet. But like you said, it may be the fact that they spend 10 hours a day playing baseball instead of 10 hours a day playing games.
Exactly, and don't forget they also just got done with the game.
True. Probably a little
and
exhausted.
They're a little tired.
We're trying to find all the reasons to give them excuses, right?
I'm trying to find all of them.
We're running out of them very quickly as the game's not going as it did previously with the RBK guys. We saw the Victor S. What do you think the big problem they have here is?
Well, I mean, so far right now, it also looks like they not only are they playing against each other within their own squad, the other squads are not playing against each other. So they're just allowing themselves no support.
Right.
Because this is a team-based game, and if you're going to play in squads, it's really helpful to have a 4-man squad. Granted, if you were going to play 2-on-2, you could play duos and just kind of go with a score structure.
Right.
But I think it's a little more fun this way. I think they were just kind of doing that warm-up for a little bit of trash talk.
Yeah. I think they were definitely getting that under their belt. So they could have a few things to say. Man, I'm ready to go. I think I get a few eliminations.
Yeah.
I'm feeling warm. My hands are ready.
Yeah. Well,
I'm settled in after that beat right for. Going 5-0 tonight here at SunTrust.
Absolutely.
Atlanta Braves winning against the Marlins. So I'm sure they're a little exhausted.
Well, and now they've warmed up for their Fortnite setup. And then remember, we're here. It doesn't really matter how good, how bad they play. We're going to be doing a little bit of tournament structure here to raise money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation, that nonprofit arm of the Atlanta Braves that's really giving back to the Metro Atlanta. And we're doing this through donations, which, of course, you can see right there on the screen. Is you just go to braves.com/donate, or what is it? Exclamation point donate in the chat can also give you some more information on that. And that's really what we're here to do with the Atlanta Players Cup. And we're going to have this right here. If you go ahead and donate, it'll put you into the running for we're going to do a drawing. And out of that drawing will be a random winner of a baseball, one of 5 baseballs autographed by some of these guys, or one of the 2 that Luke Jackson himself has autographed, or one of the 10 autographed 8x10s from the Braves. And, of course, if you donate, you're put into a pot, and then once the donations are all closed, we're going to draw
randomly draw them out.
Randomly drawn. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $20.
That's right. So if you
Donate.
you want one of those baseballs signed by a Braves player, if you want one of the 2 balls signed by Luke Jackson, if you want one of those 10 autographed 8x10s from the Braves players as well, make sure you donate tonight. It can be as little as $1. It can be as little as $10. Whatever is the right amount for you out there. And if you can't donate tonight, we completely understand. But we'd love for you to share on social media, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can. But immediately, here we go.
Here we
Ozzie,
go. Right back to the guy.
Right
Ozzie Albies is dropping. Actually, it looks like all 4 of them are dropping together. Let's see if they play more of a squad game this time. Looks like they got beat down to the ground. They're not dropping alone, but it's not as spicy as it was last time. It's not nearly as busy as it was.
No, it's not. It's a little bit of a safer drop zone. And some people call this Viking. It's not an actual named location on the map, but Viking is kind of what most of the players know it as. And immediately not being able to find a weapon, as you see there, getting taken down immediately, but his teammate coming in very quickly, putting
and
out
it looks like they're putting them both down.
Yeah.
They are both down. Now, since they are downed and not out, that means that they do still have squad members around, and they have picked up a reboot car. Nope, sorry. Somebody has gone down. It looks like Sean Newcomb has gone down.
Yep.
And then you got one more right there on top of, who is that? On top of is Ronald Acuña Jr. Luke Jackson's got some high ground.
Yeah, and Luke, you see him going ahead and pushing here, throwing those. What is he? He's throwing the nades towards their direction, or was he? Were those your favorite?
I think those were Ronan's favorite.
Okay, so those were the
was that
boogie bombs, correct?
I don't think
remember.
it was.
I
don't know, but he dropped one there.
Immediately getting another knock
there we
here
go.
with the tactical shotgun.
He's going to have to reload, and then hopefully he can take care of this last guy who's running around here, and he can get to his teammates and pick up those, get them up.
Yeah, so you see Luke actually moving here, and as I said, using that shotgun. This is actually one of the newer weapons to the game as well. It shoots a lot quicker. It is the I'm drawing a blank here, but it's a quicker shotgun. You're able to get a lot more closer up, right? So your fire rate is a lot higher, but your damage range is a lot lower.
And you can hear him just going off, and then to drop him with the pistol. And now he can run around. He can get to these reboot cards. He's only got about 35 seconds left. He's only got 10 seconds to get to this one. It looks like he's going to have time to get to all of the reboot cards. That's going to allow him to bring the entire squad back in.
Yeah,
which is amazing because there's also plenty of mats, there's plenty of ammo, there's plenty of things around. He should probably chuck this jug before he runs over to bring them in just so he can absorb a couple of hits.
Yeah, he's just trying to make sure he gets over to that van as quick as possible. They're pinging it for him as well so he can take off. But as you said, it would be a smart move to go ahead and take those couple slurps, and that way he has a little bit of protection. He can use his bandages to go ahead and heal up to 75 as well, and that'll get him in a much safer position.
A much safer position because now that he's collected those reboot cards, he's got plenty of time to be able to go back and bring his squad back in.
Yep, and it's that drum shotgun. That's the one
I
was missing.
Large magazine. You could hear him firing that. Just pop, pop, pop. Just real, very rapid
quick,
fire.
very quick fire rate, but very, very close encounter, right?
And here's something that I can't do because I keep missing the platforms because I can't get them built.
So some say, why doesn't he just slide down all the way? Well, it's because the momentum actually causes damage. So if he hits a spot incorrectly, for all those out there that maybe don't get to watch a lot of Fortnite, there is a thing called fall damage. So if you come off, if you hit the ground at a quicker rate than the game has intended you to hit the ground, you will take damage.
You will take damage, and that's actually what happened to Ronald Acuña Jr. in the last round. He fell off the building and landed, and it took out 97 health.
So you have to have all those little blue cards on the ground. You have to have one for each teammate, which he picked up all three.
He picked up all three. You can see them right next to the wood.
And you'll see it takes some time, and the reason why it does is it actually is kind of alerting everybody around, hey, this is happening.
And it is also a one use. So his squad has used that reboot van. Now no other squad is able to use that specific van.
For like another, I believe it is 60 seconds. I think it's another
solid
minute.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's one nice thing to know because that also means that everyone around there has heard that and seen that.
Sean looking here to see, hey, is there somebody else still here? Looks like some materials were already used and taken. So he's moving in here pretty cautiously. Immediately he was looking to see, hey, is there somebody else? Are we going to have an encounter here?
Absolutely.
But immediately not seeing anybody and go ahead and started collecting his materials. And as we mentioned before, it's not just about the weapons in Fortnite. It's also about your mats, your materials, the other things you have. And here's that engagement that they were looking for.
You go building some of that. He's getting pushed with a shotgun. That's not a good thing to do when you only got a pistol. Hopefully he can get some help from his teammates. A couple of heavy hits, but he was knocked down. And another knockdown.
And you see the high
ground there. And they thirsted him on top of it.
Pushed himself all the way over to where they're at. And looks like Luke here trying to get the best of this fight. Immediately seeing his teammate, thought it was the enemy shooting him. Taking the low ground, and we call this the low ground warriors. Whenever you have it like this, and we'll see if they can come through here.
And Luke's holding it down again.
Immediately, there you go.
Got hit with the boogie bomb.
There's your boogie bomb.
And there he's got taken down. Luke was putting in some work that round, though.
Yeah, a lot of fun. You hate to see it in that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely a lot of fun happening.
But you know, he redeemed himself from the rounds before because he did get that full squad reboot. And then on top of that, he was putting down some work on that last one, trying to get the guys back up.
It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a rotation, have a couple new players come in here as well. Just too much excitement.
It's just too much. You know what? They're just
tonight.
So excited to get in here. They've had a long day on the field. Now they're going to come in here. They're going to play some. We're going to help raise some money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And while they're doing that, they're also going to be able to just have some fun, relax a little bit. We're going to give them some warm-up games before we get into the actual tournament setup.
Yeah, and for everybody that's just tuning in, Atlanta Braves Foundation is the reason we are here tonight to raise money and to give back to the community. Everything that happens in Atlanta, the Atlanta Braves tries to be part of it. They
Absolutely.
Over, what was it, $7 million they've given into the community?
Since the inception of the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, since 1994, when the Atlanta Braves Foundation first started, they've raised and helped with over $7 million of financial, and then all these different aids.
Absolutely unbelievable.
All this different financial assistance and in-kind assistance and volunteer work and all of these things around Metro Atlanta. So they do a lot of stuff, and they just really need some help to make sure they can keep doing it. And you can do that by going to braves.com/donate. and you can give anything you can give. And if you can't give, that's perfectly fine. Just share, bring in more people. The more people we have, the more money we can raise. The more money we can raise, the more that Atlanta Braves Foundation can do to really help out Atlanta and Metro Atlanta and the surrounding area.
Every dollar matters.
Absolutely.
Right?
You never
might
know.
think, oh, my dollar's not going to matter, but you don't know. That could be the dollar that puts us over our goal, or it could be the dollar that helps that one family that's looking for that extra whatever it is that the Atlanta Braves can help out with. So, make sure you could do that, and, give what you can give. And like as we said, if you can't give, you can help us in social media, tweet, donate, whatever you guys need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have the PCs blowing us.
Okay, all right, ready? Ready? 3, 1.
Hi everyone, we're here with Luke Jackson. Luke, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Can you tell us how long you've been gaming?
Wow. Since Nintendo 64, so probably 10, 8, 9, 10 years old, somewhere in
Wow,
there.
that's a long time. What inspired you to go from just playing games to getting involved with esports and starting your own team?
It was kind of what me and my brothers did as a hobby, and then we kind of thought maybe this would be cool instead of, like fantasy football, rooting for teams we watch all the time, maybe we can own one. And that was kind of went for it, and now it is what it is today.
Awesome. So I don't know if you guys all know, but the team that's here playing with us, RBK, is owned by Luke. Can you tell us where the name Raised by Kings came from?
Yeah, we tried a bunch of different things and kind of asked my whole friend group what we were going to do. Tried Raised by Wolves. It was taken. Tried a couple other things, and then we're kind of like, hey, and we like the crown idea. Kind of had like a theme of just kind of an overarching, higher power. And we went with Raised by Kings. I don't know. RBK kind of sounded cool too. And
It does. I like
yeah.
it. So how did you get into Fortnite?
Fortnite. Well, I hated it at first. I tried it right away. I
Me too.
couldn't stand it. I was like, this is like a cartoon game, and I can't. And then all of a sudden, I was like, wow, there's a lot of mechanics, and the building was pretty interesting, and it was just a fascinating concept. The devs were unreal. They kept pushing unbelievable content. They do push some bad content because some people are not happy with some things right now, but I feel like the game's constantly evolving, and that's pretty cool to do.
Are you unhappy with some of those things? Can you give your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think everyone in the Fortnite community would like me to say that mechs are terrible and that they're the worst thing ever added, but, I don't think that's going to do anything about it. Hopefully, eventually, it'll switch for the competitive players who play and kind of take that aspect of actually, skill-wise helps. You work so hard, you don't want to get killed by a mech.
That's right, yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about the Braves Foundation and some of the things you've done with them and why it's important?
Yeah, I mean, the Braves Foundation is kind of all throughout, through the season, we do a bunch of events and a bunch of charity things, and the Braves Foundation is kind of an overarching umbrella that just kind of supports every kind of charity and things that we run, and it's pretty cool that they'll, dish out and help us do a Fortnite event, and hopefully we can get some, awesome donations to help them out, because we do hospital events and helping community members, and we do a Community Heroes Week every week that kind of is overarched by the Braves Foundation, where they help out, little league teams or anything on that come up, and it's pretty cool to see just how much the Atlanta community touches through the Braves organization.
Awesome. Well, thank you for talking with us. Where can people follow you?
Well, right now I think we're at the Atlanta Braves Cup at Twitch right now. Hopefully everyone's watching, and it'd be weird because I'm talking to the Twitch, and I think you have to be watching to see this. But yeah, raisedbykings.gg, the Atlanta Braves. Your boy 77 if you really want to get weird and follow me, but that's about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good job, Luke. All right. Time to actually survive for more than a minute.
Well done. Casters back in.
Oh, hey, look, it's me again. it's me in another shirt.
Hey, your stuff guy too? Stuff? Yeah.
Oh, no. So I want to stick this back on the Mac stand.
Yep.
Take a side. Okay, I'm sorry. Who do we
Sports
have?
that way, and then
moved up, started like playing Overwatch.
Who do we
and
have
then,
here again?
A lot of battle royales started coming out, and I like love playing battle royales. And the one thing I didn't really like about battle royales was like
we have?
RNG mechanic with the like circles and stuff. And Fortnite has building,
no,
which
no,
like
yeah. I
minimizes
can see me
that,
in
so it's
another
just
shirt.
perfect match. And
I just ruined
been
that.
playing
shirt very
professional
sad.
Fortnite, and I love it. So
But
it's great.
Now,
Game players.
what brought you into the professional Fortnite though? Was it just you were playing tournaments and you
I've already
got
forgotten
found,
names.
or you
I just
were
talked
you
to
like
them.
you went to a tournament and you made yourself known by that, or
Max.
Yeah,
Is that Max Free?
so I started playing a little bit later than everyone
Danny
else. I got into Fortnite
Hechevarria.
probably about like
Bam. Okay.
half a year
You
later
got
than everyone
this.
else, a full year maybe.
Danny Hechevarria.
And just started like grinding some
With
scrims
Danny,
and sort of
I've only
got some
said it
connections. I
30
met
times.
J-Love and
Seriously.
through like some mutual friends, and he sort of helped communicate with the RBK and had some like showed some potential, did good in some events, and yeah, so here I am. So
awesome. And then so your team is all over the place. I know you've got
sounds so New
Gilly's
York.
up in
All
Michigan
over the
and
place.
Rona's out in Kansas, and you got people all over the place. And you said you're based out of where?
I'm from Houston, yeah, Houston, Texas.
Okay, so, and Houston, of course, Texas is getting really big on the esports, and you're here in Atlanta. We're going to be doing an event
tired.
here. And how does it feel to be doing an event for the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, and really just being able to give back and make some money?
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. It's really
My
cool to
arms
see
look huge.
traditional sports coming together with esports, and also making a difference through charity events. It's great.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Marshall,
Now,
changed
did you
your
play
shirt.
any sports growing up? Anything not?
Like basically like everything except for like soccer, like basketball, football, baseball. Stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's it's funny how many people I was talking earlier about it, and how many people that play esports that also play traditional sports, and fighting against that stereotype of the guy in the basement or the guy in his mom's house. So, are you also streaming full time, or are you streaming?
So yeah, I do stream every once in a while. I'm trying to bring up the streaming numbers.
I look like I'm about
but
to
yeah,
beat 'em up.
I stream a decent amount. Yeah.
So if you're streaming and you're part of RBK and you're doing
trying
these
to
tournaments
draw
and you're getting
all
all
of
this
this
stuff, and we're
information out
really
of him.
getting out there,
not
and
easy, bro.
I know RBK
I
is
got
really
it. I got
showing
it,
up
though.
and really doing some work to get you guys out there and in the public eye. Just
Having
tell,
fun.
tell
Yo, that was
everybody
a
your name,
great
your gamer
match, by
tag,
the way.
where we can find
That
you
last one
on
we
social
did,
medias and all
you guys
that. Just
were
go ahead and give
playing
yourself that
good,
shout out.
man. Yeah,
Sure.
you were playing
I'm
good.
Austin Lucchese. I go by Steens. I stream at twitch.tv/Steens. My Twitter's at Steens, and yeah, that's about it. My YouTube's Steens as well, with 2 Z's.
Steens with 2 Z's, and you heard it here. Make sure you go and give that guy a follow, and stick around. We're going to be playing some more games.
What? Sorry.
Here with
Well, here you are, Marshall, back in a different shirt. Wow.
I do change my shirt on occasion. Hopefully at least once a day.
Right. Well, we are live here from SunTrust Stadium, home of the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta, Georgia. We are doing a Fortnite event to raise money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And why don't you tell us
Yes,
a little
we
bit about
are.
what that is and who we have in the room with us today?
So the Atlanta Braves Foundation, being that nonprofit arm of the Atlanta Braves, they really give back to the community all around Metro Atlanta. They've been doing so since 1994. They've really been doing as much as they can, and they can use as much help as you can give, as much help as anybody can give. So to donate, just go to braves.com/donate, and you guys can. And no donation is too small. You can just give what you can, and honestly, if you can't give anything financially, you come out and volunteer.
Right.
And of course, you go to braves.com/donate, and your donation will also put you in for a drawing where you can win one of the baseballs that have been signed by the Braves
One of
player
the
as well.
5 baseballs
One
that
of
are
the
signed
5.
by the Pro Braves players, along with 2 Luke Jackson autographed baseballs and 10 autographed 8x10 photographs from the Braves players.
Yeah, and it's just, and it's SunTrust. Yeah, so here at SunTrust Stadium, we're doing all this, and now all of these Braves, all these donations, it's just going to be random drawings. So you could win one of any of those things.
Right.
Right. And anybody that donates is going to be entered. And we're really just doing this mostly just to give back to the Atlanta Braves Foundation so they can give back to all of Metro Atlanta.
Yeah.
And what we've got here is we've got some Braves. The Braves, they just won
It's
5-0.
won here at SunTrust Park.
Yeah,
they
they
won
just won.
5-0 versus the Marlins.
They did, and now they're going to be coming in here, and they're going to be playing. And right now we're going to have Luke. Luke's going to be back in here playing. And as well as we just entered in, we brought in Max Fried. And I'm going to give this. Udani Hechevarria. Udani
pretty good.
Hechevarria.
That's pretty good.
Hopefully I did too well. If not, you know what to do in chat. You know what to do. So they're going to be coming in. We're going to give 2 of these guys some warm-ups, and they're going to see what they can do. We're going to let them play a little bit, and then we're going to bring them out. They're going to play with some of the members of RBK,
Raised by Kings.
Raised by Kings. They're going to be bringing some pro esports players. So we're going to have pro baseballs and pro esports. We're going to mix them together. We're going to give a very, very simple tournament structure that's based around the more around the eliminations and placement. Just keep it nice and aggressive and nice and active.
Right.
And we're going to see how it goes.
Well, here we have already the teams jumping in, so let's go ahead and see. We got Luke Jackson jumping in here to Happy Hamlet. It looks like that's where they're going to be going. That's their place of choice for
You're
right
going to give
now.
it, I was going to say, you're going to give his name a try?
I would butcher it. I'm not going to lie.
So Sean Newcomb, Max Fried, Luke Jackson, and Udani Hechevarria.
Well, it looks
dropping
like,
in.
I mean, I'm guessing Luke asked Sean to come back. I thought Sean jumped out, but I guess he couldn't go out on that note.
So it's, I thought they were swapping. I thought they were swapping out as well, but I believe he was having some problems with his controller
What
last
it
night.
is Sean didn't want to go home on that one.
No, I wouldn't want to go home on that one either. And I mean, honestly, if you're going to be here at SunTrust Park and you're going to be playing a baseball game, why would you want to go home after a win when you can stay here and then you can play Fortnite and maybe win a game of Fortnite?
And get some more wins, correct. But it sounds like I think we actually can tune in here and see if these players are saying anything to each other. Looks like they're being pretty quiet right now, but maybe we can grab some keys to that teamwork that they have on the field.
Luke is saying they are focused, but let's head to them and let's hear if they let's hear how their teamwork goes in Fortnite.
Not very good. Alrighty.
Well, all I can say is I'm glad they communicate more than that on the field. That's all I can say.
Focused in. Trying to live. Oh, fun a shotgun.
Looking for that shotgun as you hear him crawl out.
Fun is terrible. I keep getting this.
But the guys are all set in. As you can see, they are very focused here on the stream. Very focused as
who's
they're all
pink?
dialing in here, just trying to loot up, trying to get that what they're looking
That's
for
me.
in their loadout.
Oh, there's a
and
mech
Happy
here.
Hamlet.
Yeah, I landed right outside.
And
You want me to get in there with you? I mean,
Yeah, we can
I'll
get
drive
in
it.
there. I can drive it really well if anyone wants to shoot.
I'll shoot.
Okay. I had no shield.
Yeah, Max, you get in that.
I've got minis.
You got minis?
So you seem
No, I
very
need
basic,
minis.
right?
I got a
Like,
big car.
hey, do you have minis? Do you have shield? Do you have health? What's going on? Because they want to
Okay.
make sure
Got
that
the mini up here.
when you land in Fortnite, you don't land with 100 shield. You only land with 100
What
HP,
color are you,
100
Luke?
health. So what they're trying to do
I don't know.
is find those shield
I'm
items in
red
the game,
or pink.
like splashes, like
Yep.
minis,
That's me.
like pots.
All
that
right.
you can
Here, I'll
actually go ahead and
drive.
get to 100 health. And
Okay.
what you can do is typically like when you get minis, they're falls
Where
in
you at?
groups of 3.
I
so
need
they
my
can
bigger.
only take 2 of those.
Yep.
And then they have to.
Yeah, I need
they're
mats,
giving
too.
the other one away. So that's why they're asking, hey, who has extra? Who has minis? Who has that?
Yeah, and that's one of the things about Fortnite is it's really about working as a squad, working as a team,
All right,
working
boys.
as a duo, depending on what game you're for, right?
Yeah.
Because you're coming in and you can play as a solo, you can
Oh,
play
you're
as a
oh,
duo,
you're
you
farming
can
with
play
it. Smart.
as a squad, as a full squad, which is what they're doing here.
I'm
And they're
I
really
need my
trying to work
bigger.
together to really make this the best game they can play overall.
Yeah,
and
I
of course
mean,
they did
if
have
you-
that mech that
if you-
just dropped.
especially at a high level, in
How much
any
mats
team
you got?
game,
Max, let me
communication
hop in
is
there and
key,
get some
right?
mat.
And that's
There,
no exception to Fortnite. I mean, at a high level, communication is key. And what this
Yeah.
continually does, if you talk to some of the greatest players in Fortnite that have won some of the most money, like Bizzle and Demo or Tfue and Cloaksy,
Mm-hmm.
these guys will tell you that winning for them, the key to winning is the T communication they have. And that communication can really drive you. And just like I said, in any sport, teamwork, communication can always get you that little extra step, get you that little extra distance to get further.
Absolutely. And one of the things I noticed when I was actually watching other events with these pro players and these pro squads, these pro duos, they almost have like their own language. They don't speak in full sentences. I mean, I think I heard 2 of the guys just saying like yeah for like 5 minutes because they knew what it meant.
So, for instance, I'll teach you a little one here. If his partner says to him, hey, how many mats do you have? He could just say 8, 9, and 1. right? Meaning
Yeah.
he is at 800, 900, and
one.
100, right? And so they'll round out because that keeps the comms clear, that keeps their communication clear. And you'll see that at some of this high level, especially if you watch these RBK guys play anything competitive,
Yeah.
it shines straight through. So actually sounds like we're going to have one of the RBK guys come join us here in a second, so that'll be a lot of fun.
That sounds great. And so it'd be great to see what a pro player thinks about what these guys are doing here.
Yeah, it'd be great to see, obviously get their insight on what's going on, right, in the rotations in the map and how they would go after, perhaps one of these objectives, one of these safe zones as well.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, too, it's going to show the separation between a pro player and an amateur player. The biggest thing is going to be the communications and the skill level. The pro player having that much higher skill level because just from the hours that they've played and from the understanding of the game and the game mechanics. And that's something you can only get when you spend as much time playing as these guys do and as much history playing as these guys do.
And what's really incredible, that this will show you the passion that each of these professional athletes have for Fortnite and gaming beyond, their normal baseball life, is the amount of time they've actually invested in learning how to play this game and get good at it.
Yeah.
We teased Luke a little bit last game, but believe it or not, he's actually pretty decent at the game, and he puts some great time. And he doesn't just educate himself about, things that are just surrounding his team. He makes sure that he understands it himself.
Yeah.
And he can go in and play these games, see what is all the commotion about right around the games. Why are all the games so intriguing and fun, and what's going on? Because as you own an esports organization, you got to be able to know what games are top and what's happening. And right now, Fortnite's on top, and that's why RBK has 9 Fortnite players.
Yeah, well, and that's also one of the reasons why RBK and why these guys work so well together is because not only are they Fortnite players and they are esports players, but so are all of the owners of the team. They're all gamers. They're all esports guys.
Yeah, we heard the story of Luke and Chase and Joao, how they started Raised by Kings was they're just friends. They just played games together since they were in middle school, and their passion brought them together, and they kicked off,
Absolutely.
Raised by Kings, which has discovered some of the best talent in Fortnite in the past 12 months.
Yeah, you've got World Cup qualifiers. You got guys that played at the World Cup from not even just from the U.S. So they found some of these guys in Sweden.
Yep.
Which esports, the way it's going, and esports the way it's blowing up is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Fortnite has definitely highlighted and picked up. Unfortunately, it's picked up some of the hate and some of the love in both ways, right?
You always get that judgment from something that's new and something that people don't understand. And as long as you also keep the passion alive and you keep that focus, and esports, they're not going away. If any, they're only getting bigger.
Yep. Yeah, and we see Luke pushing forward here on this house, trying to catch up with his teammates. You see here in his loadout, the 4th item on the bottom right side, that is the new Junk Rift. A new item introduced into Fortnite, and it's the player, I'm telling you, pro player's favorite.
I mean, I know.
I'm kidding.
I know that.
Kidding.
I mean, I know at least one pro player who just happens to be here today, who said it's his favorite item.
Yeah.
Because he was trolling.
Ronan's actually he says he has better skill with the Junk Rift than anybody else.
Yeah, he does. He said, number 1 in the world, Junk Rift.
Number 1 in the world Junk Rift user. That's definitely Ronan for sure. But so what will happen with this Rift is as they throw it out, he'll actually open up, per se, a portal, right, that drops random items.
And there's another mech.
And just, eliminates everybody underneath it. And here we see, like you said, another brute coming on to play here. Looks like this team's going to have 2. So if they lose this with 2 brutes, we might have to put the RBK guys back in.
This is a really, really good situation to be in. It's always better to have more brutes than less brutes. And to have a squad of 4 and have 2 brutes, that gives you 2 drivers and 2 gunners, 1 for each. You can't really ask for much more, can you?
It's true. And as you see here, the players have actually been sitting around that rift on that side. They were around for rotational purposes, but now they're moving since they have both these mechs. They can go ahead and move. Luke calling out that he wants to drive here.
Yeah, Luke wants to drive. Now, one thing I did notice is Sean Newcomb only has, I believe, 1 shield. Now, I don't mean 1 shield as in 100. He has 1 out of 100 shields.
Oh well. Maybe Sean just didn't notice. Maybe he's too caught up.
He's laser focused on what he's doing, and he's laser focused on. I wish I knew if he was driving.
What do we have? We have 3 controller gangs.
We
looks
got
like.
Yep, just like the last time.
3 controller gangs. Luke on the mouse and keyboard. So for all you controller people out there, the love is being shared here.
It is.
At Suntrust
It
Park
absolutely is.
for
And
Fortnite.
yeah, so of course we've got Hechevarria over there, one of the infielders, playing with a controller. It looks like he's also gunning in that mech, which means he's in control of the rockets, and as well as it's a shotgun, right?
Well, you see both mechs making their way towards the northeast, going towards that rift that's in Loot Lake. Not sure if they're gonna be able to make it. Not sure what the plan is here. I don't know if they saw an enemy or if they're trying to just rotate out. But immediately you do see that rift being taken by a lot of players, and they're looking for him as they continually shoot 10 rockets at a time.
Did they see
basically.
another mech coming in? Maybe they're trying to take the mech out before it's ever picked up.
So immediately what they saw was they took the rift and they saw the players above. So you actually
There
see
we
that
go,
rift
and you see
open
them
up
coming
above.
in now.
Immediately all falling in, so they're dropping those missiles left and right, trying to eliminate as many players as possible. Really locked in as we get a view of Max. Max is trying in this zero gravity zone area, basically where they're able to jump up and around it. And this is a new thing that happened here in Season 10 around Loot Lake, able to basically have this same zone like we do in Tilted where you can't build, but this zone allows you basically zero gravity.
Gotcha. So that it lowers the gravity, allows for greater mobility on something like these mechs that are really heavy, and as well as not having to rely upon ramps and walls and floors.
Well,
now,
and we see Sean and we see Luke here immediately kind of abusing the brute as
they are abusing that brute
some of the people,
perfectly.
This is the complaint, right? Is that they're shooting 10 rockets over and over and over again.
There's no maximum amount of it.
Right.
They just keep replenishing. You don't run out of rocket ammo for the brute.
Luke
you don't
getting a
run
quick
out.
down.
There we go. Brute's got the and then Luke's here's got the 2 eliminations. But that's the big issue we're having with the brute right now, and the big problem we're having with some Fortnite players is that brute being overpowered, saying that it's overpowered. It's got 1,000 health. It never runs out of rockets, and it looks like we're just trying to get this last. He's looking for an elimination here.
Yeah, he was trying to pick up that elimination, having the high ground, and he was able to still shoot down on the player and get his grenade launcher in there, but not able to get the bounces that he
Now,
needed.
I am seeing another brute on that mini-map, but it doesn't look like they're interested in grabbing it.
Yeah, it looks like they have their eyes on a couple players. Luke jumping in here, having the high ground, and pushing down, immediately building out and building those floors that he could get over, not taking any of the fall damage.
There we go.
Those shotgun shots.
Oh, and
Player
watch
drops the
that wall
but
trap.
Not able to kill him. And immediately he takes those.
And he's
going to
use those
so he can go ahead and
walls.
get his 50 shield back.
Get that 50 shield back and then take him down. Is going to give him another some other minis.
And you'll see Luke.
And he's doing really well on. He's maxed out on wood. He's still got some brick, and he's got a good bit of metal with him as well. Looks like he's going to try and build up here for another firefight.
Immediately as he eliminated that player, he was able to capture that player's materials. So all that player's items, all the player's materials went to him, was allowing him. Now immediately he's getting packed in. You see him what's called turbo building here. Immediately putting up his wall, trying to protect himself, so he looks for that moment to be able to come out. Immediately putting down his floor and his ceiling, pushing through. And man, this guy's right on the shotgun. He gets the tactical shots off on Luke, putting him down, and immediately eliminate him. So it looks like we have 2 players. Yeah, 2 players still up.
2 players still up.
Luke eliminated and 1 down.
Now, you are able to go and get the reboot card for Luke to get him back into the game, but we know that there is someone there unless they've moved off. Now, Hechevarria going to take some long shots there, not really connecting with any of them. Yeah. Now, the one thing that I did notice during that firefight with Luke is they took out the bottom of the floor. And then since they took out bottom ramp, everything above that is collapsed, and he fell and wound up getting fall damage as well. And that did some damage to him, and that really helped that firefight go in the other direction.
And what you'll see typically is...
Now we got the storm moving.
the storm is rotating as well. We got 19 players still alive. You got 86 seconds on that reboot card. That's what that notification is. So basically, if he wants to pick him up, he got to get to him before that time runs out. Because if he doesn't, he won't be able to use the reboot.
And there he's got the reboot card right there. Now, is he going to be able to go? Is he going to go out into the storm to pick up his other squad mates' reboot?
So it just depends. If he has some
he's
mobility
gonna hit that
to
jump
rotate
pad.
in and out, he's immediately going to take that. And he looks like he's rotating towards the middle of the circle.
Yeah.
There's not another reboot van near him. So he would have
And
had
he's
to
getting
hit that
shot
one
at while
outside.
and he is still getting shot at while in game. And luckily, we actually have that visual audio turned on, so we're able to see even if we can't hear. That's something they added for mobile, and as well as for deaf players,
Yeah.
which allows the deaf players to also play Fortnite and get that audio, get that visual stimulus instead of using a headset, since of course
Yeah,
they wouldn't
give
be
you
able
some
to use it.
direction on where the player's coming from or where a player's shooting at. And Fortnite really does, as you mentioned earlier, accommodate everybody from every platform it's on, right? Mobile to PC to all the consoles, including Nintendo Switch. Like it's on every platform possible, and that's one of the great things that Epic has done to be able to really create the fan base that it has around the game.
And one of the things too is the way that they designed it. It doesn't make it any more of a benefit. It's not something that a hearing player would be able to use and then to be able to use and then not to get an advantage.
Right.
It's not going to give them any undue advantage. It literally just allows more people to play the game, and the more people to play the game, the more people get to have fun. The more fun, the more happy, and the more happy, the more we can help out with the Atlanta Braves Foundation.
Yeah,
tonight
no, definitely.
With this Atlanta Players Cup.
As we see here, the players sitting down below, and this is one thing where he's trying to help out his teammates by staying alive so that he can go revive at least the one he does.
At
have
least the
reboot
one,
card.
yeah. And then he's going to see. Now, the problem being here is Fortnite is a game. Oh, no, he drops right in on him. Get a little building done.
Woo!
That's some quick builds, and he still found that hole. But you know what? They did come in 6th.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No, not at all. They were able to have some fun there, and able to have some team camaraderie as well, which is what we're enjoying tonight. Really, most of all,
Absolutely.
is celebrating the Atlanta Braves, celebrating the Atlanta Braves Foundation as well.
And everybody's walking out with a smile on their face. You see Luke's not giving up his seat. He's like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. No, in fact, he's telling people, sit down, let's play some more, as it looks like the RBK guys are going to get in here. But I think we're going to have Steens join us from RBK and talk a little bit about Fortnite, talk a little bit about his journey and what they've been doing here in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's great. We got a headset for you right here.
Look at that. Look at that. Steens, you're getting a headset, putting you on. Good. All right,
sounds good.
It looks like that's where you're going to be stuck at. You're going to be stuck. You stand on the tape, okay?
All right.
There you go.
Making it easy for me.
Making it easy for you. But hey, man, talk to us a little bit about your journey so far as a Fortnite pro player. How you joined RBK? How you got involved in Fortnite?
Started out, sort of transitioned over from some other battle royales like PUBG, H1. Got into Fortnite. Really loved the building mechanic. About a year ago, probably. Did decent in like some of the events early January 2019, and just got picked up that way, I guess.
How has it been being part of Raised by Kings?
Oh, it's amazing. Raised by Kings is actually such a chill and like great group of guys. They're like super supportive, always asking like if there's anything they can do to help us, et cetera, et cetera. It's been really amazing to be a part of.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's a real team, and you guys really work together to have that community, which is what we're trying to build with esports in general and gaming in general. Now, I was talking with Joao, and I remember him telling me that, of course, he wants you guys to be good because he wants you guys to win. But at the same time, he also wants you guys to get along and really form a team. He's not looking for this great player or this great player or this great player when he's building you guys. He wants to build you guys into a full team, into a full brand, and really get you guys working together.
Definitely, yeah. I think as far as Raised by Kings, like they do a really good job of just trying to foster that sort of family aspect of the team. Like they always say, like you can be 100% like transparent, straightforward. Like we're just trying to do what's right and be there for you guys, and it really feels like a family. So
as you know, in the esports, these players are coming in, and some of them are young, and there's been a lot of contingency around contracts and things like that happen, right? But one of the things that Raised by King is really well known for amongst in the interior of all the pro players is how well they treat their players, and they, Elevate, who had won money with them, basically went on and moved to another org. the way that they operated, and it was such a warming thing to see them say, hey, if you have a player that has a really good opportunity, we don't ever want to hold our players back.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that Raised by Kings does. And I can honestly say, and I know you can speak to this, how well Joao and them treat it, not only as a family, but as a friendship. And they really want to see everybody succeed and everybody be a part of something great that they're building. And that really, I think, comes down from Luke and Chase and their passion to build something with Joao that really has a substance to it beyond just, hey, this normal little thing.
Building something that they themselves would want to be a part of.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
I think it's also a way for them to really culminate something that they want to give back. And you guys have been doing really well playing. You guys have been, I mean, I noticed your teamwork. You guys work really well together as well.
Comms have been great tonight.
Yeah, and when you can also, you guys can play, but you guys can have fun. You're also not like super serious all the time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
RBK
just trying to
knows
hang out, having a great time tonight.
Yeah, RBK knows how to have fun for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about your time here in Atlanta, man. What did you guys do? What have you been doing while you're preparing here for the Atlanta Braves Foundation?
So we got in, flew in, headed over to Access Replay.
Yeah.
And it was great. Great LAN center. Computers are great. Internet's great. Played a few games. A lot better than my internet back in Texas, so I was loving it. Then the next morning we head over. We had a friend that we actually know through Fortnite, which is pretty cool that we got to meet up with.
Yeah, we were talking about some of that stuff
Tuesday,
earlier.
Utah. Shout him out in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy. He took us out to the aquarium. Gave us some tickets. Yeah, great aquarium.
It's only, I believe,
Wonderful.
the only one of 2 places that have whale sharks in the United
Yeah,
States.
some beluga whales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting creatures. Very interesting.
They're the only whale that can move their head separate from their body.
Yeah, they have like.
I know a lot of weird stuff. Okay.
They have knees too, apparently. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically it. Just chilling at the LAN center. You know, coming up to the baseball stadium, which has been awesome.
Yeah,
And,
SunTrust is an awesome place.
Yeah.
And the Battery is what it's called outside.
Is that
SunTrust
the
Park,
Battery in
amazing.
SunTrust Park, and
Yeah.
Battery is awesome. It's a great place here. Lots of restaurants.
Yeah.
Lots of retail stuff.
Yeah, they have a nice little it's like, sort of like a town outside of
Yeah,
we
got
right outside of the baseball
yeah,
stadium.
like
It's sweet.
concert venues. And
Yeah.
like, you name it, it's out there.
Yeah,
it's
like a
really
movie
cool.
theater, like right there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole day.
What about this event, man? How cool has this been being a part of this here, underground here at
this is-
SunTrust Park and
yeah.
having the pro players come in here?
Oh, it's awesome. It's so cool to just see like everything just come together, like all the PCs and the equipment and stuff, and having the RBK boys in and the Atlanta Braves players. It's been awesome.
What do you think the hardest thing about being a pro Fortnite player has been for you throughout your journey?
The hardest thing, probably just like, for me, the hardest thing has probably just been like staying super motivated to do all the nitty gritty that, like practicing tech skill and stuff. Like I love playing the game. I love playing with friends, but
Yep.
yeah. That's
All
about
right,
it.
Steens. We're about to drop in here. Do you have a favorite spot to drop?
Favorite spot used to be Mega Mall, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, as you can see on the map, that no longer exists.
Right.
Oh, two duos.
So it looks like both the duos are gonna be dropping in separate occurrences, right? So they're not gonna be dropping in on the same map together, but they are both playing at the same time. Just on different maps. So,
there's Gilly on the screen there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like, Gilly.
So talk to us a little bit about your teammates, man. Let's talk about Gilly. What makes Gilly such a good player?
I think Gilly, he just has a very, I really like playing with Gilly. I think he has a very unique and like interesting mindset and like approach to the game that I don't really see, and so I think he adds like a nice, like flavor, I guess, to just sort of.
He's your duo.
Our skill set,
I guess he's
yeah.
your trio partner right now.
Yeah, he is. Yes,
technically,
yeah.
right?
Mhm, yeah.
So you guys are trio, and you, him, and who else?
It's me, Gil, and Galaxy.
Okay.
It's a
Okay, and then
friend of
you
mine,
guys
yeah.
each have, of course, your own strengths, which kind of help.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that we have a pretty well-rounded trio right now.
So is Gilly more of the push, or is he more of the?
yeah, I
runs?
think Gilly's more of an aggressive player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it hard keeping up with an aggressive player?
Right. Sometimes we have to rein him back a bit, get him under control. But
that's always my
things work out.
that's always my problem. I'm always too aggressive.
Right.
Yeah. I've never been aggressive a day in my life.
Well, but there is some things to being an aggressive player in Fortnite, though. There's some benefit, what they call W King players per se. How do you control that when you have a player like Gilly that is so, W key?
No,
forward
yeah,
pushing?
there's definitely something to that. Like a big thing in Fortnite is just sort of getting your opponent like on the back foot, getting him to turtle up, spray through walls and get tags that way. And like when you're feeling the pressure from like a player that's a W key player, it's it's really like oppressive and it's hard to deal with. So I think that's it's a good thing that Gil brings.
How important is the communication aspect to what's going on actually when you guys are playing at a pro high level?
Well, it's very, very important to know like where your teammates are, what they're doing, so that way you can play around that and rotate through the zones late game really smoothly, conserving mats, not like getting split and then you have to use a whole bunch of mats to get into the next zone because you aren't playing off of each other.
What does a normal day of an RBK player look like? What do you guys do? You waking up at 4 in the afternoon and just playing for a couple hours, or what are you doing? Like what does a pro Fortnite player do?
Well, probably wake up, do a little bit of warm up.
What time are you waking up? What are we talking about? You going to bed late playing, or you wake up early playing?
Lately, probably been going to bed around 3, 4 a.m. Wake
All
up
right.
about
Well, Galaxy.
noon,
Where is Galaxy
1 p.m.
located?
Galaxy's in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so you are playing across time zones.
Yeah, well, yeah, Gil and Galaxy are same. They're both east.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. I'm central.
So you guys
My
wake
ping's,
up.
that's why my ping's not that great in Texas.
Yeah, it's true. We don't have
deal
great
with it.
ping in Texas.
Yeah, wake up. Lately I've been hitting the gym. Not a
You
big
got
deal.
Ronan here. Ronan. So it actually turns out Ronan is playing with Luke.
Okay.
So Luke Jackson and Ronan are duoed here, and Ronan just dropped a guy here, and then there's Luke. They're really working together. Sitting here at Fatal Fields.
Right here we are. A little impulse for height. Yeah. Oh,
Little
beautiful
booga
spray
move
down.
right there,
Yep.
huh? Little
That's
booga move
beautiful.
from the World Cup when he
Yeah.
went up top.
Yeah.
That was the last.
That was the first game of the World
Yeah.
Cup. Puga went up and used that same technique and got
Right.
the kill for the victory.
You'll see how he sprays
Yeah.
down with his SMG because the hip fire midair is a lot more accurate than like the infantry
See, and
rifle.
those are the things that pros know that I have no idea.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
hip fire.
Oh,
with
it's
an
really
SMG.
important. Yeah.
All right, so it's going to be Max Fried and Gilly are playing here, and they're out in Paradise Palms.
And then Ronan and
Yeah,
Luke.
Ronan and Luke Jackson are playing.
Cool.
So you see him using that campfire to go ahead and heal up.
And it looks like they're working pretty well together. I mean, Gilly's got 4 eliminations right now.
Right. Yeah.
And
Gil's popping off.
Max
of that
doesn't have any, but that's okay.
No. If you had to
he'll
put your
get
money
there.
down, what team's winning here? What do we going? We going Ronan and Luke, or are you going? What are we doing?
Probably have.
Gilly
Yeah,
and
I've got
Sean?
to go with Gil.
You're gonna go
Yeah,
Gilly.
I've gotta go with the
See,
Gil
in
partner,
that
yeah.
case, I'm gonna definitely say it's gonna be Ronan
Oh.
because Luke's got 1 elimination. I believe Ronan's already got 4.
Oh, okay. All right. A little game
I believe.
going. Yep.
I could totally be wrong because I have no idea how many eliminations Ronan has.
I mean, if they really wanted to push this here, they need to do it quickly.
They do.
Go ahead and have Luke and Ronan push.
Yeah, it seems like both teams
So
have
Ronan's
a far
got
zone
3.
to go to.
So Ronan and Luke have the same amount of eliminations as Gilly by himself.
So we
And
see
there's
the
another.
visual indicator on the screen. Is that something that a lot of pros play with now, or what?
I don't think so. No.
So just Ronan's got it turned on, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Ronan's doing with that setting on.
It makes me wonder if
It's a
they
little
have
bit
it turned on
distracting.
specifically for us.
They might have it turned on for us here at the stadium. I'm not sure, but we see that victory. He's got the victory royale umbrella from season 10. He's using to fly in here.
Yeah,
and
Gil
as
and
you said
Max.
before, this used to be one of your favorite places to fall when the mall was here, but now it's gone
Oh,
back
man.
to Retail Row.
Don't even get me started on those pesky zombies.
Yeah.
You can't
How
hear-
does those affect the gameplay for the people that don't maybe know that Retail Row has that?
Yeah, so basically they have zombie spawners that just spawn randomly across all of retail, and it spawns a lot of zombies, and it's like they're always knocking on the doors of the buildings that you're trying to loot chests in, and you can't hear anything, and
So they're affecting
It's
your
a headache.
hearing. They're affecting all of the, of course, if you're using the visual indicator, they're
Yeah.
affecting that as well. But they're also giving away your position.
oh yeah, because
they're all-
they follow you around, definitely. Yeah.
Gotcha. So what kind of I can think of a couple of ways that would be.
Don't go there.
Oh.
That's how he tells you how
Oh.
he deals with it.
Yeah, that's how I
He just
dealt
doesn't
with it.
go.
Yeah,
we
just
saw
don't
the
go
quick
there.
edit there. Max made the quick edit, quickly getting that elimination.
Right,
and
Gil's got a little bit of
immediately
tunneling on
getting
low
taken
ground
out.
here.
Looks like it's
Oh,
now
ramped
we've
over.
got to look and
Oh,
see if Gil can get this here. He dropped down that floor trap.
Yeah, dropping down that map to see if his opponent will push in, but trying to get off his potion or his, should I say, his
Uh-oh.
slurp as fast as possible.
There's a mech over there. That could be prove to be trouble for Gilly here.
Yeah, that mech moving in. You can hear those
You
from
can
miles away.
hear that.
What do you players do when you hear that happening?
When you hear a mech, you either pop the jump pad that you may or may not have, and if you don't have it, then you use all your mats and die.
Seriously? Okay.
That's
so
basically
you're
how
saying-
it goes.
Focus fire, right? I mean, in pubs, it's a little easier to deal with.
No,
typically.
yeah. Just
Okay,
sometimes.
Gilly, I see you.
Oh,
Gilly missing a couple of those shots. He
Gilsman.
usually will hit if he's home. I'll say it for him because he was about to say it to me. I would have hit those if I was home. Okay, we got it, Gilly.
right. The setup excuses, of course.
You know what? I'll give you guys a couple excuses. Mostly because we're here for fun.
Ooh.
And we're here to, oh, there we go. Those quick edits.
Oh,
that was
Gilly,
beautiful.
back-to-back edits, showing us real quick how it's done.
And, you know, honestly.
Great work.
Oh,
And
they
he came in
take
from
it
the
out
back.
quickly.
Oh.
That sounded like that drum shotgun again. Those
It
quick
did.
fires.
Honestly, I think it was. And
who we still have
all right,
in
we're
play.
back. Hey,
Oh,
Luke is still up.
Max
We
is
got,
still up.
we got
Oh,
Luke
Luke and
with
Ronan
2.
are still up.
And it
What
looks
was
Sean
the
and
kill
Gilly
count?
are out.
Did we get a kill count on the Sean?
I
Sean's
believe
Gilly?
there was
Max and Gilly?
seven eliminations for Gilly and
Ronan?
no, for Gilly and Max Freed. I believe are 7
Right.
eliminations total.
Oh.
So I want to say Gilly had 6 and Freed has 1, and we got 4 and 2 here. So Ronan and Luke Jackson are still at 6. So
I don't think he meant to go out into storm that far.
Oh, whoa!
But
that
he
was
using
a
his
fit.
impulse or using
that
that
was a nice
shockwave to
fast
get back
build.
in. Yep.
They're gonna go some. Luke's gonna push and be aggressive.
Right.
There it is. Okay,
Oh,
and then Luke
nice.
just brought. Now Luke's at 4. Now
That's big. Some minis to pop too.
that just brought him up to 8 eliminations total.
Ho, ho, ho.
8 eliminations total. That's gonna bring him ahead of.
Sorry, Gil.
It's gonna bring him ahead of Gilly.
Quickly
And
putting
Max
those
Freed.
bandages on, trying to get back up to that 75 health. He doesn't have any potions here, so we're going to see, does his teammate, found a couple from that elimination there, able to
Right.
pick that up.
A little bit of a mini split for him.
Yeah.
Looks great. Beautiful.
So that was dropped by Luke.
Yeah.
How important are these shockwave and mobility items now in Season 10?
Well, since they took out the shadow grenades, the shockwaves and jump pads are basically the only mobility. They also
Yeah.
took out quad bikes too, so they're like even that
Yeah.
much more important for rotates
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's this latest season they took out a lot of the mobility, and then they brought in these monster brutes.
Yeah.
How has that affected? Because you competed last season as well.
Yeah.
So has it changed competitive drastically?
It's changed a pretty decent amount because the last season they had the slipstreams all around the map,
Mm-hmm.
and so you could use those to rotate from like far places like Paradise, Happy Hamlet, and whatnot. But
Yeah.
now lately, like you have to do a lot of early rotating, just like say we'll farm mats later, just run in center zone, and
So it's a
you know,
lot more forethought. A lot.
Yeah,
more,
a lot of
I gotcha.
and it's also a lot of running.
Yeah, so before a lot of these teams, when they dropped in, they didn't worry too much about first circle because rotations were so much easier. We had a lot more, like we said,
The
not
fidget
just
spinners
items,
too,
but
or
yeah,
the floating. I don't know what they're.
the floating platforms that were
Yeah.
up in the air, and
with the turbines.
Yep. And those were like on all 4 corners of the map. So
Yeah.
literally, you could get anywhere so quick in Season 9. And in
Ronan's
Season
going for
10,
some of these long shots.
throwing us back. Yeah.
little bit of Kovacs action.
You'll see them taking their time on those first couple shots, right? Because first shot accuracy is 100% on Fortnite. So as you see, his reticle gets all the way small, and when it does that, that means that shot will go where you shoot it 100% of the time.
There is no RNG.
There's
movement.
no RNG in that. When you're pulling the trigger, normally there's RNG in it, and your bullet spray can be
yeah.
random, not allowing you to hit the target you're trying to hit. But that's
Yeah.
why they crouch and pace their shots as much as they do.
That bloom can get pretty bad.
Hey, though, Ronan and Luke Jackson right now they're really doing well staying alive now that they've got this push down here. They've got 8 eliminations.
Ooh, you
and
don't want to get caught floating in that anti-grav zone.
over
Yeah.
here.
It's such an easy target.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before, that anti-gravity zone, that no-gravity area
That's a nice shot.
that allows you to get that rift, but there is that risk-reward, right? Because you're transferred into that
Yes.
no-gravity area so
Yeah.
that you can get to the rift. And as you see here, they need to get to their rift because the circle's all the way over in Junction area where they got to basically get all the way to that northeast or northwest corner of the map.
And now they have to do so while slowly floating in, knowing they've got the guys that they were shooting at before.
And the battle right below them.
And a battle right here.
Immediately on the burger.
A little bit of third-party action going on here.
We love the third-party
Luke laying on
fights.
high ground.
Oh, Luke Jackson dropping in. That was an
Luke's
impressive
immediately getting those builds off.
Luke's got some clean builds.
Man,
I'm impressed.
He is.
He made that quick edit through the roof piece to get him to
Well,
go ahead and
well.
put his stairs down.
He can crank out a few 90s.
All right.
Not too shabby.
Now, I don't know how many professional baseball players can actually crank 90s.
Yeah, that is a good
That'd be
question.
an interesting thing. If you're out there and you're watching this and you're a professional that can crank 90s, I want to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Shoot us your videos.
this
TX on Twitter.
This might be the next thing. This might be the next challenge. Is people are watching Luke Jackson here play, and they're going, "Oh, I can do that." Really?
How
Let's
many
see it.
other professional baseball players can take out Luke Jackson? I just want a 1v1 Luke Jackson around.
Let's do that.
Luke might
Let's
be the
do
best
that.
professional baseball Fortnite player.
You know what? We could claim that, right? We're in Atlanta, right?
Right.
We're
Yeah.
at SunTrust Park.
Yeah.
We can say that their pitcher, Luke Jackson, is the best Fortnite pitcher in the world.
We could say that. Do you know why?
Because we just did.
Because the other pitcher that was here isn't playing as well.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
Poor
I'm
Sean.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you hear that, Sean?
I'm sorry, Sean.
Man. But you
8 HP on Luke. Oh,
in here,
we might have jinxed it a bit.
But you know what, though?
Immediately.
And
Oh,
we
he
got
got
that
the
boogie
bomb.
bomb. Oh, and
he
he
got
comes
Boogie
in.
Bomb taking him out.
And you know what? They came
Terrible.
in 8th place. It's going to give them a couple of, you know, they did well, though.
They did. They did do well.
8 full eliminations.
Great try.
We've got the 8th place finish. I mean,
Yep.
that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
So we're going to see here. If you guys are tuning in, thank you so much. So we are here at SunTrust Park raising money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And it's been a fun night, a fun night of watching pro players. We have the RBK guys here in the studio as well, playing all night long, and it's been a blast. And you have the fans outside as well. So let's jump in and see, let's see some of the Fortnite dances around SunTrust Park. So the fun of doing an event is the technical difficulties that occur sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It is. But you know what, then? Let's talk about why we're here. Why we're here. We're here to watch people dance at SunTrust Park. You are murdering me right now. Yeah. Hey, just when we team up, when we bring in players, could you just tell us who's with who? See the dancing, right?
So a little floss
That was
action. What
impressive.
can I say? Been working on that quite a bit for all you people out there all week. I knew I was coming, so I had to get the floss down.
You got to get the practice.
I did.
You got
Watching some YouTube videos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish. No. So the dancing was great.
Dancing was great. The games have been great.
The games have been
I
great.
had nachos earlier. Those were great.
Those were great.
Hot dogs are great.
You know, it took us a while
Pretzels?
to find them, but we found the nachos and we got happy.
It's true.
Nice.
So,
Oh,
and then
taco
remember,
stands.
guys, everybody, the reason we're here, we've got the Atlanta Braves and we've got RBK, and we're bringing the traditional sports world and the esports world, because it's blowing up.
Yep.
We're bringing them together to raise some money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. All right, Atlanta Braves Foundation, they've done so much for Atlanta and the metro Atlanta area since 1994. They've spent and done over $7 million of financial aid and in-kind assistance for the metro Atlanta area, and we just want to raise some more money for them so they can keep doing these great things. So if you can, go and donate. Just go to braves.com/donate, and there's not an amount that is too little. If you can give us $1, give us $1. If you can donate $5, donate $5. This is going to put you in the running for one of these spectacular prizes.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, you can go to braves.com/donate. If you're in Twitch, hit exclamation mark donate in the chat, and it will pop up there. You can click on the link, go directly there. As we said, if it's $1, if it's $2, if it's $3, if it's $100, whatever you can do tonight, we greatly appreciate, because this cause is for all the people here in Atlanta, all the charity that they give to. As you mentioned, over $7 million given through the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And if you donate tonight, we had some add-ons. You can get one of the 5 baseballs autographed by the Braves players.
You get thrown into a drawing for that, for one of the baseballs signed by the Braves, or one of the 2 that Luke Jackson autographed, or one of these 10 photographs that have also been autographed by these Braves players.
Yep. A lot of great things to be able to capture just for donating $1.
And it goes to a great cause. All right, so we got Luke Jackson dropping back into Fatal Fields. We're going to see.
We got a whole RBK roster is what we got going on. All right?
We do.
So we got
We
Ronan sitting in as well. I don't know if he's still teamed up with Luke. But
He's concealed now, I think. Oh. Or is Gil
Luke
with
coming.
concealed?
Ronan's with Gilly, actually, so you have the two of the owners.
All right.
Oh, he
Okay,
is.
so
Never
Ronan,
mind.
Ronan
Ronan's
and Luke
with Luke.
together,
Ronan
and
and
Gilly
Luke.
and Joao together. And I have to say it, if I had to make my bet here, the way Luke's been playing tonight, he's definitely going to take out Joao.
I mean,
So he's covered that up. And then Ronan,
I'm
I
thinking
don't know.
Gil and concealed's the only chance might be to get into a mech.
yeah. If Gilly, I will call it.
I'm not trying to throw
wait,
much shade on concealed, but if he gets in the mech,
I'm gonna call it right now. If Gilly and Concealed get a mech, they've got this.
Yeah.
If they don't, it's gonna be Ronan and Luke, also known as Skywalker.
Oh, okay. Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes. Skywalker.
So I think, yeah, if Gilly and Concealed can get in a mech, it's gonna be a whole
there's
different game.
concealed.
Yeah, immediately flying in. There he is, flaunting that Victory Royale umbrella from
yeah.
Season 10.
A pretty safe drop spot.
Did you
here.
help him get that umbrella?
I believe I did. Yeah.
In fact, I didn't even pay attention, but maybe his first win was here tonight for the Season 10. I'm not
That
sure.
might have been
I
it.
can neither
That might have
confirm nor
been.
deny that.
Yeah, we can't confirm nor deny, but we can confirm that we're having a lot of fun here. That's for sure.
I mean, that's something we're definitely having, and that's the whole point.
See, those
of,
visual indicators throw me
Oh,
off.
that's
Oh, it's hard to see.
that flyby. We got some. So they've got some.
Some
and
whip
Luke
shots
got
from
dropped.
Luke there.
They had height on them. They had a height advantage, and Ronan was
That's a
dropped
quick
as
death.
well. That was
All
a
right.
quick round.
Should be an easy
So,
win then for
I
Gil and
think we
concealed.
owe
Immediately, Gilly is looking to his left and right, trying to see what Luke and Ronan's kill count was so that him and Joao can beat it.
I
Immediately,
think we
he's looking
owe
left
them
and
an
right.
apology because I
Well,
think they're-
wait. They still have to get some kills.
Yeah, they still have to get an elimination. If they
But-
don't get an elimination,
That's right,
we're s-
because
yeah.
Luke had one elimination. That's right.
So
Was
that,
it only the one between the two of them?
I think so. I think it was only the one, and
I
you
mean,
know,
Ronan and Luke did have one elimination.
they have to find somebody.
Okay.
I think Luke had an elimination.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Luke
Luke
had
dropped
one.
him like when
Okay.
they dropped in.
So they
Luke
need
took
2
one
kills
out.
then.
All right, and
Gil
we got
and concealed need
concealed
2 kills.
Go
picking
ahead
up
and,
some mats.
yeah, getting those wood mats, getting his wood kind of really good there with well, he's not even 1-1-1 yet. He's
Well, that's how it is
133.
in pubs with the reduced mat
that's
farming.
true. That's true.
It's true.
Yeah,
now
they should
we're
have this in the bag, I think.
1-1-1 and half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's
Yeah. So
one
I-
1 point. Yeah.
You know, they must. That
Point
was
five.
a pretty safe drop because they
Yeah.
haven't even seen
I mean,
another player.
if Gil can't get 2 kills here, then we might have to do a little bit of.
Team
We'll
switching.
have a
We might have to
little-
throw
yeah.
you back in
know,
there.
If Gil can't
We're gonna
get
have to have a
2 kills
sit-down
here,
talk with him.
you're gonna have to go
About
over there
not
and
getting,
take his
not
mouse.
getting 2 kills in the pub. Yeah. That could be an issue.
Absolutely. You know,
Well, you see
2
Conceal
kills.
going through here, hitting all the furniture in the house. You're
Yeah.
like, man, why are you just destroying furniture? It's because it's all one swings typically, and then you
Gil's
get the
got 2
most
jump
mats out of
pads. All right, jump adding in. Maybe a little third-party
okay,
action
did
here.
he see someone
Sees
over
the
here?
dudes in the tree
Yeah,
line.
I
Yeah,
see 'em.
farming.
Over in the tree line, they're coming. They're going to be moving in. It looks like there's someone in this building as well.
Gil
And
found
falling here on
minis.
Factories.
Gil's-
Factories was brought back in Season 10. It's
Mm-hmm.
one of the, I guess, a loved spot by a lot of the community.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And a lot of people were happy about this one. So although there's been some complaints about Season 10, there's also some things the players do like.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately, the things you don't like seem to
the com-
overcome the ones that you do.
The complaints are a little bit louder than the praises, I
Yeah.
think, unfortunately.
That's true.
But yeah, as you see here, jump
And
pad
another
just
jump
set
pad.
on top of
Yeah.
that building for him.
They're
It's
just
a
going to be
gift.
chasing
Chaining the jump pads
these guys
together.
down.
This is a
Oh, a
gift.
nice B-hop from Gilly there. Beautiful, Gil. Wonderful.
Really jumping in with the B hops.
Yeah.
But why don't you describe for those that are watching what is the B hop?
So the bunny hop, B-hop is a bunny hop from like games like Counter-Strike. Basically, just right when you land after jumping, if you hit spacebar like at the exact time that your feet touch the ground, then you sort of keep that momentum into the next jump. And in Fortnite, you used to be able to do it actually over and over again, like chain them together, but they took it out so you can only get one now. But it still makes for some pretty cool shots if you can,
It'll
like
make
shotgun
for-
someone right when you bunny hop or something.
That little extra position, that little extra, like when you
Well,
fall
it looks like
on
they
top
found
of someone, they
They're
might
going to
not.
pincer move
Yeah,
here.
looks like a pressuring from 2 sides. That's great.
He's just going ahead and taking down those mats that player used.
Gilly's had a
He's trying
couple
to make
of-
the
Oh!
quick hit, immediately getting shot.
Gil's killed by a
got hit.
Triceratops.
Immediately killed by
no kills,
yes,
no
by a
eliminations.
junk rift. Junk rift coming in, the dinosaur hitting Gilly's forehead, taking him out here, and immediately putting everybody in a shocking moment here inside SunTrust Park. Absolutely unbelievable, man.
That's hilarious.
Hitting him in the forehead, taking him out.
It had to be the Triceratops too.
And that's a little bit about how the pro community feels when
Yeah.
it happens, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
what
There you
just
are.
happened.
Everything's going great, and then suddenly a
Elimination by Dino.
Triceratops hits you on the
Yeah.
head. Yep.
As Dr. Lupo said, hitting the forehead with a dinosaur.
That's how it is sometimes.
But, you know, one thing is for sure. A dinosaur won't hit you in the head if you donate tonight. $1, $2, $3, whatever you can for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. We'll keep the dinosaurs away
Yeah,
from
we'll
here.
get in the real life dinosaurs. These
Yeah, yeah.
Fortnite dinosaurs, they're probably not going away for a long time.
The thing with that item is the audio indicators, so you just can barely hear it in the middle of a fight when gunshots going off.
Yeah, yeah.
So that
All
way
right,
the players don't
So don't
know.
forget, when you want to come and donate, as you see on the screen right here, donate, braves.com. And when you donate, you get put into the running, and randomly chosen will win baseball, autographed by one of the Braves players, one of 5, one of the 2 that Luke Jackson signed himself, or one of these 10 8x10 photographs.
I watched them sign them.
Yeah, did you?
I watched them. Yeah,
So
he signed
it is-
both the balls.
it is
so I
confirmed.
can confirm, certificate from Too Loud, that it actually is authentic.
Okay, so confirmed Luke Jackson can write
True.
his
True.
name.
He can sign a
Twice.
baseball twice.
We would hope so.
But you know, most impressive is we have 10 autographed photos as well.
That's true. That's true. We got a lot of the Braves players were really excited for this to happen here at SunTrust.
Yeah, we've seen them come in and out all night.
It's just really great. Yeah, they were just as excited to have this happen as we were,
Yeah.
and as RBK was. It's been really cool to be able to take the world of traditional sports and the world of esports and bring them together.
Ooh, little
And
sneak
here
peek
we
of
got
the
another
comms.
drop. We're bringing in all the RBKs. It's same teams. It looks like Luke and Ronan are going to be dropping in here to Pleasant Park.
Yeah. And immediately we see what a group of
Well,
people.
someone's
hit
getting
with a
pickaxe.
Immediately hitting him with a pickaxe,
Turning
doing
around with
80
that
damage
drum.
to him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Turned around with that drum, hoping that they were going to follow.
Oh, that guy does not look like he has a gun. He's going to be trying to run
That's
away.
a perfect.
That's a free
perfect
kill
for
right
me.
there, I believe.
I believe
There we
that is
go.
good.
Wonderful.
So what's the difference?
Where's his
We've
buddy?
seen multiple shotguns tonight.
Oh, man.
Steve,
Okay.
talk to me like, if I got all of them laying out
Maybe
in
a
front
little
of me,
shotgun tier list.
Yeah, what am I going? What's my tier list here?
All right, so we've got the drum shotgun. That's about as far down as you can go. I'd take a great pistol maybe over a drum shotgun.
Really?
Maybe. I'm
Okay.
not. Yeah.
Because you have to be so close with that gun, right?
Oh, you've gotta be
Basically
right on top
touching
of 'em.
them.
Yeah.
Now, I've noticed that Luke Jackson used that drum shotgun to very great effect a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah,
I
but he's
believe
standing
it involuntarily. I
It
think
had nothing to do with him.
sometimes you find like 4 drum shotguns.
Oh, no, and they got eliminated while they were off stream.
Again.
I don't know what
Okay.
happened, but
Ronan
Luke's
getting
upset.
taken down. And Ronan having a laugh about it. So I'm not sure what happened. Maybe another Triceratops to the forehead?
Could have been a refrigerator as well. Don't
Yeah,
count
I
out
don't-
that
Could have been a
refrigerator.
car.
Yeah.
I
Could've been a
don't
number
think
of
that
things.
was Death by Dino. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think that elimination was just, I think someone just snuck in and took him out with a shotgun.
I'm sure they'll let us know.
Could have been
soon.
a
Sure they'll
Fortnite
let us know
classic.
soon.
Drop in, don't get that great a loot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how it is sometimes.
Sometimes the RNG, right, in Fortnite, and that's the randomness for everybody
Right.
that's wondering. So it just doesn't play to your effects. I mean, you competed, right, in the Fortnite World Cup qualifiers.
did.
Multiple times. What was so difficult about that? What is it? You kind of paint the picture for us on what players go through week by week trying to qualify for something like that.
Yeah, so everyone just takes it super seriously, you know. So when you're playing the solos and you're playing the duos, all the people in the map are super spread out, and it's just really hard to get the loot that you want. You know, everyone's fighting tooth and nail for the great loot, and you know
And as you
sometimes
said, sometimes you get what you want.
sometimes you get the
don't.
short end of the stick, and you know you have to
There
make
we
do with what you
go.
got.
Conceal taking that long shot out.
Yeah, it's tough to see. I mean, sometimes you know you're in a good position, but you just don't have the items.
Right, to execute.
Yeah.
That's how it is
be able to
sometimes.
execute it.
So you don't see a lot of people doing really hot drops.
Well, it's just sort of I guess it's like a give and take a bit, because you could do a hot drop, and if you end up killing everyone in that spot, then that's all the loot's yours, you know.
Yeah, so it really seems like Fortnite, the more seasons that happen, the more you have that risk reward and have it vastly spread out.
It just changes every
Yeah,
season.
it-
It's not
yeah.
really that it's more every season. It's that it changes, right? The direction of the risk and
Yeah.
where the game goes changes every season. So, like, everybody was praising the game at World Cup because they hadn't made a sudden change. They hadn't done this. And I hate to tell you this, but my assumption now is that it's the fact of they had the junk rift ready to go before World Cup. They just decided not to launch it because they
Yeah.
didn't want to be.
I think they had a lot of stuff ready to go that
Yeah.
they knew people would frown upon, and World Cup ending was a great excuse to just drop it all in at once.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, and it looks like we're still here with Concealed and Gilly. Gilly's fighting up.
Oh
up-
no!
Gilly's
Gil
down
stomped
up
the
top.
count. Gil gave me a
leaving
little.
it to
Concealed.
Joel. Will Joel be able to take this? Concealed. Oh! The
Oh!
edit on top of him, not able to hit the
Edit
shotgun
on
shot
top.
as the
Oh,
guy
no.
edited above him.
Gil is choking left and right in these.
Gilly not getting it. Looks like
I'm sure he's over there complaining about.
I think Ronan
Some
and
mouse
Luke are in a
issue.
game
Loaded-
as well.
yeah, and
Here
they
in
dropped into
Tilted
Tilted
Town.
Town.
Tilted Town. Yep.
Oh
They-
no! Here
they
we go with
dropped
your
down
accent
into
again.
Tilted Town. They got a partner. They got to work with their partners.
That's true.
They got to see what's going on. Now, what is he holding there? Which
So
revolver is that?
it's a revolver. So at Tilted Town, what's so interesting about this place is you can't build there,
Yes.
but you can still get on top of structures because they designed the area to have these, as you see, like the hay barrels over there. You can
Yeah.
jump on top of those to get on top
Oh.
of the building.
A lot of
so there's
parkour.
other mobility and parkour, happening around around this zone area compared to the other ones, where you can build in.
Yeah. All right, right there. Luke got
it
dropped in
1-1
on.
right
It
now
got
for this
got dropped.
Well, they're already, remember, so Ronan and Luke jumped into a new one. So they had already been
all right.
eliminated.
They're already one game behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're already they're ahead.
And
They've
then-
already queued up and taken another
And
game.
what
Right,
happened
right.
right there is we had a guy drop in from the back, took Luke out with just single shot, single tap, took him down. Ronan was able to come around, eliminate that guy, eliminate that one that took down Luke, and then get Luke up. But Luke's down to 30 health, no shields. See what he can find here. Maybe he can get
That's
himself
that's
up.
another thing about this
that's-
Tilted Town spot is like all the loot is supposed to be like Western.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of pump shotguns. It's a
Pump
lot
shotguns,
of
hunting rifles.
double barrel shotguns even in this zone, which
Yeah.
is across the
a
other
lot,
map.
a lot of
We saw that.
revolvers.
Yeah, we saw
A lot
that
of guns that
before
do a
with
lot of
the-
damage if you get caught out in the open, and there's no building. So yeah,
If you get caught out in the open.
yeah,
Those are my favorite kind of guns, though.
yeah.
I don't want to have to hit you more than once.
This is he also has the new sniper that was dropped here in season 10, and this sniper has been a little bit of contention as well because of how fast it shoots.
That does shoot
but-
pretty quick.
It's only 35 damage, so
I think it's mostly a nuisance. It's not the greatest
Yeah.
gun for actually eliminating people. Nice little shot there.
immediately taking the pumps.
Oh.
Very odd, right? Very different style of playing here in Tilted
Yeah,
Town because
I
you can't
noticed
build.
that.
So these players that are so used to hitting that build key and then going in for it weren't able to do it.
So what you're saying is every round that I play a Fortnite, I just need to drop into Tilted Town and just stay there.
Yeah, just stay there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Just stay there, and then when circle
If
moves,
zone
I'll
moves,
just
you just
I'll
die
stay.
anyways because you were gonna.
They
you
did
would
hear the
probably
reboot
get
band
eliminated.
go
So it
off.
wouldn't matter.
I can't build, so I might as well just stay there and play my cowboy games.
I heard the reboot van go off, so now they're running over to check and see if there's any gamers
Yeah,
around.
you hear that tone. It's that little tone and that battery. How is it a minute?
the, the sweet sound of someone
What is
spawning
the
in at only
reset
100
timer on
HP.
those? Do you remember what the reset timer is on them?
I'm sure it's like a minute and a half.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think it's like a minute, maybe 90 seconds. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but that will fill back up, and then you won't hear it anymore. And then if somebody
Yeah.
reactivates it, you hear it again.
That's sort of a recurring theme in competitive games. Is whenever you hear that reboot van, you're thinking, oh, free elimination, because the dude spawns in with a great pistol and 100 health.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, they spawn in with.
So you saw him
virtually
run over
nothing.
there, but those dudes had already booked it. Oh, Stinks actually get
Yeah,
tagged
using
here.
those
Find this guy in the
stink,
building.
that just forces them out of that room.
Yeah.
So it's doing a couple things. When they use the stinks as sneaks, what happens is it can force them to know if there's somebody inside and where they are, because it's gonna it's gonna hit them for so much damage, like 5 damage per
They
tick.
just-
And that damage indicator shows up on the screen, so
Through
like in
walls,
That,
yeah.
in that
Yeah.
house, they could see where those players were at.
Luke hitting a nice 130 pump shot.
Yeah, Luke had
Wonderful.
had some really nice movement
Beautiful,
there.
Luke.
He tried to the other guy tried to outmaneuver him, and he just wasn't having it. Turned around, popped him in.
I think that's what's so impressive, right? People that you have a professional baseball player like Luke that's able to go in and enjoy video games and show this side of his life that he loves so well, and he does so good at as well. I mean, he's a decent player.
Yeah,
I mean,
decent
if he
player
keeps
for sure.
playing like this, it's almost as if his aim with a mouse is as good as his aim with his arm.
True.
And he plays a lot of different games too. He plays Overwatch and League of Legends and
Yeah, he does
Fight
play a lot.
Tactics and whatnot.
Yep.
And
Now,
he's
does he
like
normally
pretty
play?
decently
Does
great.
he normally
in
play
all of them.
something with the bullet travel, or is he a hit scan guy?
I think that he plays. I'm not sure actually what characters he plays in Overwatch.
I'll have to ask him after
Yeah,
this.
that's a good question.
Because you do have to deal with the bullet travel here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's definitely definitely a difference depending
snipers
on your
and whatnot.
weapons, right?
Yeah.
And there you go, dropping some materials, dropping some mats for him as you move on, just allowing his teammate to be.
If I had to guess though, I'd probably say Luke probably plays like your McCree, your Genjis.
Yeah.
Probably stuff
Yeah.
like that.
High reward,
Yeah.
high risk characters.
And
for
also
sure.
the
It
like,
seems to be his playstyle.
the stereotypical fun characters that
Yeah,
Overwatch
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Genji, Tracer. Stuff
I mean,
like
don't
that.
get me wrong. I'm a McCree guy myself. McCree and Widowmaker.
Nice.
This part of the map has probably changed more every season than any other part of the map. Literally every season since they took out Loot Lake to begin with,
Yeah.
it has changed.
Oh yeah, it's always
It
changing.
has become a point of discussion amongst the community for sure, because it's gone from being not relevant at all to being very relevant.
Looks like Gil's little shot at redemption here.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Gilly and Concealed can do a little bit more here.
Yeah, we really need Gil to step
Look,
it up
they're
in these
dropping
games.
here in your favorite zone, retail
yeah,
row.
great.
Gonna see if they can take out a few zombies.
I mean, the good thing about the zombies at least is that when you do eliminate them, you get that
Let's see.
plus
Yeah,
3
well,
shield.
I mean, hopefully they can
Maybe
do
Gilly's
something.
dropping here because this is the only thing he can kill tonight.
Ooh.
Oh man,
Ooh.
he's not gonna like it when I clip that bot.
Shots fired. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Ronan doing some quick builds here.
Immediately trying to take the high ground on against this opponent.
Yeah.
And he saw that opponent had actually stopped for a
There's
second.
Luke on high
He got
ground. Oh,
jacked.
someone shooting from behind.
Yep. Luke immediately pushing up above them, trying to help his teammate get the high ground.
Well, it looked like
Can't make
very
these
low on
edits
mats,
because
though.
those walls aren't his, so he can't edit those walls
Yeah.
because those aren't his.
Yep, he's
well, it
got
looked
height.
like Ronan was starting to run a little low on mats there.
You see, he realizes he has height there, but he's not talking to his teammate. You got to
Yeah.
communicate that. You know?
I noticed that.
Get vocal.
We don't
Yeah.
have a lot of communication.
Right,
I remember
yeah.
watching the three of you play. It was constant.
What you're saying here is
Oh,
we have
I
a
mean-
failure to communicate.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Yeah. I don't blame you for it.
But
I will
immediately-
not hold it against you.
Looking for opportunities to,
Yeah.
where can they locate this enemy at, right? That's what they're looking for. They're talking through it.
Did I just see a laser? Did I see a mech come in?
Oh, yeah, I think there could be a little bit of a mech
Could have been a
third-party
missile
action.
fired from across the map for sure. But if not, they're going to put their immediate focus on this route if they see it. And you saw that line, that
And
little
like-
laser line we saw earlier, so you know he's around. But
There's the guy they were digging for.
not,
All right.
not finding the mech
Not
immediately,
in another-
immediately finding the
there's
other
his
team,
buddy.
and his teammate still
Cross.
inside that
Uh-oh.
one by one.
They're both out of mats.
Ronan getting shot from behind
gets
as
the
well by
elimination.
that
Maybe
mech.
he can get the
but Ronan
mats
gets
here.
over
Ronan doing some work.
He has to run around and get the mats.
Oh,
no.
And running right under the
And
foot
seems to
of
be
that
the
guy.
theme
There's the
of
brute.
Fortnite right now,
Yeah.
getting taken out by a brute.
Well, you get in those fights.
I mean,
the
it's
really
either
long
a
fights.
brute-
Everyone's turtling up, and eventually a brute's going to stumble on.
Yeah, it's
onto
either
you.
a brute or a dinosaur.
It's one of the two.
One of the two ways that.
All right, let's see if
Be
Gilly
eliminated
can have
right
a little
now.
bit better round this time and
Yeah.
not get taken out by a
Oh, yeah.
Triceratops.
They seem to be really taking it seriously, or looting out the same buildings at the same time. You know.
Drum gun, typically a controller player's favorite weapon. I'm not gonna lie.
Because
Really
of that
love it.
L2 spam?
No, not necessarily. Just because it's way more easier for a controller player to use this weapon efficiently and compared to the other weapons in our arsenal, because it will allow you just basically to push walls. Back in like season
Gotcha.
7 or whenever,
Yep.
the drum gun first came out, it was like ridiculous for console players. Like
Oh,
they
definitely.
W keyed per se more than anybody else with that gun.
Yeah.
And in fact, in Fortnite World Cup, a couple of the qualifiers that qualified with controller, some people said the only reason they qualified was because that gun was in the game that weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually had to end up nerfing the drum gun after they re-released it back into the game because people were complaining about it so much. And I think we just saw 2 Triceratops into the ground.
So somebody used their junk riffs
Yeah.
over there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see him sticking out of the ground
Pressure
right
with the
there.
great pistol, not the most effective, but
Yeah, and you see that they're actually fighting enemies on both sides, so they're trying to manage both these sets of enemies.
Gil was thinking about emoting there. That's questionable, but
Ooh, immediately getting taken down.
Oh, and there's
breaking
those
the-
zombies
yeah.
we were talking about.
They can destroy your structures as well.
that's the
Oh,
one
nice.
thing about Retail Row is when you
Concealed playing. There's another.
Yeah, great kill
Is that
from
a
Concealed.
car?
Oh, the car just fell down.
What is going on inside Retail Row? It looks more like Junk Junction happening with all the junk rifts going on. We got a car in the ground as well as a couple dinosaurs.
You just never know what's going to hit you on the head
And I'm
nowadays.
telling you, you don't know.
That reminded me of my old hometown of Philadelphia. That's got to be an
With
Eagles
dinosaurs and cars in the ground,
fan. Yeah.
upside down.
Going out to the old gas
Shout
station.
out-
Never
shout out
seen-
to the OG. There
And
comes
there's
an anchor.
Oh my goodness. We got an anchor. We got a dinosaur. We got a car.
Police car, yep.
My. Okay.
Would you say things are just falling from the skies here in Retail
I mean,
Row?
now all we need is a kitchen sink. You said there was a refrigerator.
There's a refrigerator.
I'm pretty sure there might be a sink too.
So we got a guy up here on the roof.
Gil's alive, but he's got no mats.
Gilly.
Oh,
he
he gets the
taking him
elimination.
out.
Don't die to zombies now, Gil.
Oh man, immediately.
Looks like he should be able to
Gil
make
trying
a
to save
recovery.
his teammate. Yeah.
Trying to do what he can.
He's going to have to back off.
And
Take out those
you heard
zombies
Concealed
first.
call out, I'm in the corner.
Yeah, he's going to farm a little bit of mats so he can build around him after he kills some zombies.
And they're going to kite. What's called kiting these enemies around. Basically, just walking them in the zone you want them, kind of, parading them like cattle. But let's see what Joao has to say here as they try to pick him up. We're going to jump into I think some audio with Luke and Ronan.
Let's see if they can communicate a little bit better this round.
Well, looks like a little technical difficulty. That's all right. We'll keep enjoying what's going on here. We're jumping in with Ronan as he's flying into Salty.
Doesn't quite get the quickest landing to the back door of that big blue house.
And, you know, this is one area that we haven't seen change in the season yet.
Salty Springs and Pleasant Park, I think, is also another area that hasn't really seen much at all change throughout the seasons.
Fatal, we saw the grass grow quite a bit. It's changed a little bit.
Right.
We did have some divots in there. When the meteor
Snobby
hit
had
as
a little bit of
well.
remodeling.
Yeah. So
Lonely
Salty-
Lodge hasn't changed?
I mean, I guess it hasn't changed since it's been Lonely Lodge.
Okay, fair
Right?
enough. Yeah.
So as long as it's been Lonely Lodge, it hasn't
I
changed.
think that when I started playing the game, it was already Lonely Lodge.
Oh, okay.
What was it before?
What was it before? I don't even remember off the
Maybe
top
it
of
just
my
didn't
head.
even exist. Maybe it was just.
Yeah, I don't think because you had
I know the map was just very bare when it first.
at first, yeah, because
not
it
many
was almost
POIs.
identical from South Pole to North Pole. It was almost identical. So you had Fatal Fields and you had Anarchy Acres up north.
That's
right.
That was
so,
there. Yeah. I remember
it-
Anarchy. I do
yeah,
remember
Anarchy Acres was there, and then it turned into
You got Luke cleaning up after Ronan. Ronan chasing a guy off that house, off that build there.
Ever since I first started playing competitive Fortnite, always loved landing Lonely Lodge.
in the bush.
In the bush, taking him out with a pickaxe.
Oh,
he
from
just
the
got
side.
from
He's
behind.
getting
Getting third
shot
party.
from third party, getting shot from 3 different angles.
He's taking the damage there on the ground. The player
Oh,
trying to go ahead and put
7,
him out,
5,
so his teammate
3.
can't pick him up because he's not obviously close
That's
enough
it.
to eliminate him right now. And Luke will fall, but his time card or his reboot card's still available with 85 seconds.
Yeah, Ronan's
he
got
does
no
have
mats
almost a
here
minute
though.
and a half,
That's a little
but-
bit scary.
And there's somebody that can pull it out. It's definitely rolling.
If Ronan had some more mats, it'd be a little bit easier for him.
Well, yeah, but he's got those audio indicators on his screen, so he knows exactly where his opponent is. Perfect.
It's true. They are. I guess can be a little bit helpful, but
Look at him. He's
they look a
he's
little
being stealthy.
distracting too at times.
I think it says there's fire
he
over
see-
there.
He sees they're engaged on a fight.
Footsteps. Yeah.
Yep, immediately sees the opportunity to take advantage, throws a couple nades down, and you see coming through those windows, the other team taking the top of the house, going and getting that, trying to get that high ground.
Oh,
on him,
no mats here.
and
Could be
immediately
bad.
getting shot through the windows. He doesn't have any mats, as you mentioned, trying
Farm
to get
some
that high
wood.
ground. And this player is balancing these multiple enemies very well.
yeah,
Continually putting the shots on Ronan as he's engaging with the other team.
See him
Well,
using
it
the
seem-
LS of the house,
and it
trying to
seems
stay
like
out line of all the windows. the
Yeah, and it
different
seems like the
windows.
easiest way for him to get some mats here is going to be to eliminate that guy right in front of him there.
Ooh,
Eliminate
putting
somebody and pick
a
up the
couple
mats from
quick
them.
shots on him. Yep.
Still no mats, though, so he doesn't want to quite push out of the house yet.
Yeah, we're still not showing any mats. He still hasn't picked anything up. Throwing some more nades.
Maybe a
We're
little
gonna see what
ricochet
goes
action.
here.
Off the backboard, shot.
Oh,
And
that player
hiding
came
in the
inside.
kitchen.
That player
Yeah.
probably crouch walked through the back door, maybe.
Yeah, snuck into it to do a sneaky little third-party
Yeah,
ninja
that's-
move there.
And not the way you like to see it end, but
not the way we want to see it end. But
Definitely
you know,
not.
that's how it ends sometimes. It's just how it goes, right?
That is
But it's
right.
all, you know, we're all here for fun and games with the Atlanta Players Cup, and we're here to raise some money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Let's not forget why we're here. We're here to have some fun. We're bringing esports and we're bringing traditional sports together in one place. And we're bringing up the Atlanta Players Cup and raising some money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. Now, the Atlanta Players Cup here, it's an initiative to fundraise for some local charities, and we're doing celebrity video game tournaments in typically using Fortnite, because it is the most popular game in the world.
It is. It's the most popular game in the world. What, like 150 or like
a lot of people.
150 million players worldwide? Something
like
crazy.
That. Absolutely.
Crazy.
And then, so with the Atlanta Braves, they're kicking us off. We're starting here with the Braves, and we're seeing how things go. And it seems to be a great night. And hopefully, we're getting some people to donate to the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And then you never know. Maybe we'll see a challenge with other Atlanta teams. And
Yeah, that's the goal, right? It's really to get the traditional pro players in the city involved in what's happening in some other communities, like the esports communities that are happening around Atlanta.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you said, Fortnite's growing like crazy. It's been growing exponentially since its launch, and definitely been taking a lot of the communities by surprise. Almost every kid seems to be playing it these days.
Oh, definitely.
Almost, if they're not playing it, they're doing the dances.
All the rage in your elementary schools, your middle schools. Yep.
So everybody is, Fortnite has just been, a cultural movement.
Yeah.
In the
it
gaming
has
space, for
become
sure.
one, exactly.
Very mainstream. Yep.
Yeah, it's mainstreamed, and it's actually becoming the point where you see kids in public and you see people in public, and the first thing they do when they meet each other to break that ice is, hey, you know what Fortnite skin do you have?
Yeah.
You know, or I've seen kids in a grocery store. One kid starts dancing, the other kid starts dancing, and then this one swaps it up. So this one swaps it up. And then they start talking, and they become friendly, and they're just talking. And I thought they knew each other, and they had no idea.
Yeah.
They had no idea who each other
Little
were.
IRL dance.
But they had Fortnite.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think you talked a little bit about it earlier, but the impact that Fortnite has and gaming has is just like sports, right? If you're younger and you play sports, you play soccer, you play baseball, you become on these teams. It's a social situation as well. You also gain understanding of how to win, how to lose. Well, video games does the same thing. There's a ton of players out there that, they were able to go ahead and join in on these teams, become part of a team, figure out what it feels like to be on a team. And, that's why we have Raised by Kings here. That's why we're doing it here with the professional players.
And here we go right here. This is where our scores are sitting. And it looks like Gilly and Concealed really need to
Gil's going to need to step it up.
Because Luke Jackson and Ronan are...
They're killing it.
Needless to say.
About 3 times as killing it, it would seem.
They're doing well. They are almost 3 times the score. I mean, we got 4 points. Now, the way we're working is the eliminations are worth 1 point apiece, and the eliminations being worth 1 point apiece is the only thing that's mattered so far. So they haven't gotten to a placement.
Maybe there's some placement points in there. We wouldn't know.
Now, if you notice, Luke and Ronan, they have 4 eliminations and 6 eliminations, which gives them 11 points. Because that's you hit 5 points. You get an extra bonus point for a bonus point for having 5 eliminations.
If I was back there playing, we might see the placement points come into play a little bit more.
I mean,
a little
but with those guys, over there,
which
I like
one of
what's
these
happening
players
here.
can do? Can they do it together? If they are all four of them are playing.
They,
are they
right
trying?
now.
Are
They
they
just
working
dropped
together?
into squads, so they changed from duos into squads. So now they're all going to be kind of running through and working. It's going to be a little bit different.
I think they're still paired up as the same pairs, so they're still competing each other. It's just much like we have seen other kill races before.
Right.
You're going to drop in together. If you get eliminated, you get to sit there and watch the rest of the teams finish it up.
Yeah, and so that's what we're doing here is they dropped into squads. They're still going to keep their team red and team blue. They're 4 points and 11 points, and they're going to see how things go. Which we're also going to see them even more aggressive because now they're competing against each other.
Trying to steal the eliminations from each other.
Immediately hitting that tack shot for 33, jumping up over, hitting him again 53.
But he got the
taking him out.
All right, it looks like Luke did not get that.
He's saying it's stolen.
Yeah, he got the kill.
They stole it from him.
As the player goes down, if you shoot them at the exact same time, you'll still get the hit notification, but you actually don't get the kill.
And that's the one thing. If they so all 4 players dropped in the same zone.
Yeah.
Typically, you see whenever you play a full squad like this on a kill race, they're going to split off and go to another drop location, another POI. But looks like here they decide, hey, you know what? We're going to stay together and try to take some of your kills.
And here you
let
go.
you do some damage.
And it looks like Ronan's got 2 and Concealed has 1. So far, that puts 13 points for Luke and Ronan.
Yeah. Yep. And
but only 5 points
they're
Concealed and Gilly.
Maybe we'll.
Oh no, because Gilly's got 4 of this match
Gilly's
by himself.
getting picked up here.
No, Luke's getting picked up.
Oh, Luke's getting picked up.
Luke's getting picked up. But Gilly has 4
wow.
eliminations this match.
They're chug splashing
So
each
he
other.
literally just doubled their scores.
Well, that was nice of them. They're sharing those splashes amongst the other team. Although
Great
there's a little
teamwork amongst
competition,
the
you know.
RBK boys. Yep. Wonderful. Love to see it.
So, sharing the love for sure, sharing the splashes, making sure everybody can have all the health possible since they basically own Paradise Palms right now.
Yep. It is their home.
So talk to us a little bit about drop locations. What's so important about finding a good drop location?
Well, just from the competitive aspect, mainly the amount of loot that comes from the POI that you could be dropping at is very, very important as far as getting the mobility that we talked about. It's a lot more limited, so you need to be getting a lot of floor loot, a lot of chest spawns for shockwaves and jump pads, which is really important. And then also trying to find a drop spot that's more central on the map, so that way you don't have to run as far if the zone ends up being across the map, you know, because you're sort of already centered up based on where you dropped, and don't have to do so much running.
The initial circle always is.
It seems like the initial circle for me is just always as far away as possible. If I'm dropping Happy Hamlet, it's over by the volcano, and vice versa.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
That is how it works.
That's just how it works.
I'm sure that's what everyone says.
As a professional player, with Fortnite changing as much as it does, I know it can be frustrating, but is it also entertaining? Does it also keep you rejuvenized to like wait for the next update, to wait for that new thing?
I know a lot of competitive players like to throw a lot of shade on the changes, but for me, I just sort of roll with the punches, I guess, and I try and have fun where I can, and you know, it is what it is. I like playing the game still, so.
Well, that's one of those things too. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. I've said it a couple of times tonight, but when it comes down to it, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
I mean,
if
I'm in a competitive environment doing some scrims or something, and an anchor drops on my head, you know, you got to be able to laugh about that because it's, you know, I don't know.
If not, you just
getting upset's not going to prevent the Triceratops from hitting your head. You know what I mean?
You kind of just got to say, an anchor fell on my head.
Right.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, it's pretty funny. It is.
Think about that sentence out of context.
Yeah. I mean, seeing a dinosaur's, bottom half sticking out of the ground is a funny thing.
It is.
It is a funny thing.
I had a death the other day. I went in the replay, and it was just a dinosaur's butt sticking out of the snow. It's just like, oh, man, I can't believe I died to this.
All right, so welcome to Atlanta Players Cup. We're here. We're doing this initiative. We're bringing in celebrities, and we're doing some video game esports tournaments with the celebrities and really trying to raise some money for charities. We've got Atlanta Braves Foundation today. We're working with the Atlanta Braves and RBK, which is an up-and-coming esports company, like esports team. You guys have been doing some really good work.
Yeah. RBK's not only very involved in the Fortnite scene, but has been very successful in the Fortnite scene as well.
Yeah.
They've had some great players that people might know about, like Elevate and C's. Elevate was on RBK, and he won WSOE, $40,000, which was a really great tournament.
Yeah.
And then they also had Left Eye go to the Fortnite World Cup.
Yeah.
He won $50,000
just
for going.
Yeah, $50,000 for going.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, that was what, $100 million total prize?
100
and $3
million
million
Crazy,
first prize? That's
changed
I
Boomer's
think
life
that-
overnight for sure. He went from, I believe it was like 3,000 followers on that morning to over 300,000 followers.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Today.
Yeah.
So it definitely is life changing, and people might say, well, that's just a follower count, but that impact has so much on somebody when they win a game like this at a very high level, because not only do they get publicity from it as we normally can think, but it also opens up other opportunities for these pro players.
Definitely.
I mean, it's no different than a traditional sport.
Yeah.
The more people that like you, the more fans you have, the more likely you are
Sort of snowballs
for
on itself.
sponsorships, and the more likely
Definitely.
you are for teams.
Yep.
And it is life-changing for
Yeah, and so-
esports athletes. And we are going to use the term esports athletes. I know it gets a lot of flack in the news. I know it's getting a lot of pushback, but you guys work. You guys practice. You guys have to not just practice your skill like this here, you know, your fine motor skills, but you're also practicing your teamwork, your communication, and you got to eat right, you got to sleep, you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself, or you can't play as well.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, a lot more goes into it than just sort of casually sitting behind a computer for a couple hours a day, you know.
Well, I saw you guys
doing
actually
nothing,
playing
you
some
know?
1v1 scrims, and those pay off. But you guys will spend hours in just playing 1v1 and
Yeah, just sort of trying to get the mechanics
Yeah.
nice and clean, and also it's pretty fun to.
it's not our days of Mario back in the day. We
No,
just
that is
ran
true,
through
yeah.
trying to win.
I was more of the N64, what is it, Ken Griffey's Baseball.
yeah, King
you
Griffey's
know?
baseball was awesome.
Or GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye's a classic.
Yeah, yeah.
Love some
You
GoldenEye.
saw,
There
saw
we
Luke
go.
push into that box, immediately taking off that roof, and then
SMG's right down
go
there.
ahead and eliminating that player very quickly. And you know, that looked more like a avid Fortnite
Yeah.
player than it did a pitcher. I mean, I
Yeah.
would never think behind my screen if I'm getting whacked out. Here it is, Luke Jackson, star pitcher here at the Atlanta Braves, taking me out.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm shocked that how aggressive he's been playing, that he only has one elimination.
Yeah.
And I think it's mostly because Concealed is coming up behind him and stealing him.
Yeah. No, that's definitely
We'll
what's
have to see.
happening.
A little
We'll
bit
have
of
to see
kill
when we
stealing
pull-
going on,
We'll
definitely.
have to see when we pull up Concealed.
You see him trying to get that revive off, but before he does that, he's going to make sure those enemies aren't pushing.
Hopefully they recover
Yeah.
from this.
Oh,
Oh,
and-
you see all the rifts
Yep,
coming
saw
through.
all the rifts jump.
Maybe a couple cars.
A couple dinosaurs.
You
a
never know.
refrigerator or two.
Yeah. Oh, what
They
did he
seem
just
to
pick
have-
up
Pick up
there?
that gold, that
Is that
legendary combat.
Yeah.
They seem to have lived through the anchors falling and whatnot, so that's good. Hopefully they can recover.
Ronan's going to go and get Concealed back up. Gilly pushing forward.
Gil with a nice pump shot.
Gilly playing nice
Oh!
and aggressive.
I
There's
think
a
Gilly might
second
start
knock.
feeling it here,
Yeah.
immediately getting those two knocks. And
There's a third
There's a
knock.
third one. Maybe a full squad wipe here.
you got to do him like that, Gilly. Immediately, Gilly hears the other teammate
Yeah.
pushing in on him.
Did we
and
see
Ronan
Gilly's
keeping his eyes out.
elimination count?
Yeah, I think he's up to 8 or 9 right now. Gil is.
Yeah, he's
Gil might have been getting a little bit
single-handedly-
angry after the bad games.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's single-handedly catching up to the other team.
He's got a pretty straight face over there. Seems to be sweating it out.
Yeah, these guys
Yeah,
look like they're
he's
getting locked in here.
laser
Just starting to
focused.
warm up.
I mean, they seem to be doing pretty well with the. Oh, I was about to say no dinosaurs, but there's one right there.
Or they're just warming up here, 12:30 Eastern time.
And it looks like Concealed's downed again. What do we see? We got Luke's pushing.
Nice.
Now Concealed is down.
Luke, let's go.
So we leave
Luke,
it- there we
Luke
go.
put on the pressure, getting that jump shotgun.
Only
And then-
two, he's only got 2 kills, but I feel like he's done.
You know, he's
He's
done
done a
lot
little
of
bit
work.
more
His
than that.
damage count's got to be
I
higher.
would, I would love to see. Yeah, I would love to see his damage count. So is he going to run back?
he
They
has no-
are going to grab
He
that
has
reboot
no more
card.
mats to run back and get it.
Get the
They thought-
reboot card,
They
yeah.
do grab
Yeah.
that reboot card.
Zone looks like it's over towards Tilted. Maybe they reboot him there.
See if they can rotate out of this. The only problem he has is he has no HP items.
What are they looking
He
for?
does
Maybe
have
they've.
those minis.
He does
Is there a
have
guy
minis.
in the storm
I think
still?
there's somebody in the storm.
Yeah, there's got to be
still.
someone in the storm.
Ronan still has 10 bandages. So
Ah,
they're
jump
gonna-
pad. Maybe
yeah,
that's
they're
what
gonna
was
take
in the
jump
storm.
pad out.
There we go. And Ronan's pretty good. He's what 8-3-2 right now.
Oh, and Gil's ahead
And
of the
Gil's
back
already
here.
pushed. He's up here and tilted, but he's only got.
There's that aggressive play style we were talking
He's
about.
only got 168 brick. He doesn't have much in the way of mats.
Right. And we see
Now they are skipping over Tilted Town. They're not going to reboot.
Yeah,
Concealed.
Gil should have. I think Gil probably just realized.
Yeah, I think they just realized that that reboot van is not in the storm.
Yeah, well, Gil
They
probably
rather
could have
go back.
rebooted
It
him,
is
but
now.
a little bit late on that one, Gil.
It looks like he was dropping that.
What a team player.
Yeah, they're going to keep
Dropping down
moving
the
on
slurp
since that storm is
for-
now taking over.
Now he
that
must have
location.
dropped that down for
Dropping
Ronan.
the slope for Ronan, yeah. The slope for
Yeah.
Ronan.
So it looks like they're going to push right through Tilted Town. They just dropped a dropped an indicator here to keep an eye out.
Man,
See that reboot van, and we see that skin
it's been a while.
go back
Yeah.
to that default. Oh,
Ooh,
immediately
there
pushing
he
into that
is.
box, not seeing the player, put 24 damage with that SMG,
Oh!
and immediately taking him down.
Gil with a little
Luke
beat
taking
down.
him out. Or Gilly, yeah,
Yeah.
Gil taking him out. He's at 10
And
eliminations.
Luke
this
looks like Luke
round.
getting it down as well,
And
and
there
getting that
we go.
elimination.
Gil's definitely going for the style points with the pickaxe
Yeah,
out.
I think that's his second takedown with a pickaxe in this match.
Yeah.
So he's taking those slurps that will give him 75 health or shield. It will give you whatever you don't have. So what he did is he knew that he needed it more for his HP than he did for his shield because he had those shields available. So he went ahead and took that slurp knowing he would give him the HP and then use the other items to give him the shield.
Right now, is he going to leave that legendary combat? See, now, I'm telling you guys, I'm still so surprised that Luke's
we'd
got
like
the
to see a
only
stink
3
down here.
eliminations.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, Luke's on top of it. He's on
top.
top.
Luke knows what he's doing right now. So as you said earlier, that will not only give him a hit marker to show where location are, but it'll also push them out of that location.
Oh. Yeah,
and there we saw our drunk
And there's a police car falling down from the sky. Just standard Fortnite things nowadays.
A bunch of quick edits here. There's another
very run of the mill.
Gilly had 11 eliminations.
Cars, dinosaurs. Everything just falling out of the sky.
Go with a little bit of
Gilly's
cranks.
sitting at 11 eliminations, which is 13 points for his team.
Yeah.
He's looking to do it. He sees the splashes going down on the player, so he pushes the box, making a
Quick
edit
edit.
across the top.
Gets a
Hit it
50.
for 50.
That's looking for a little bit more there, but that's.
You know he damaged the player, so he's
all
going
right.
to just rotate around. That player made that edit on the door, immediately jumping off to the side. That was just fortunate for that player. He just got lucky. But it looks like that
Dropping
player
out
just
kind of
got
made him
shotgun.
escape.
Yeah. Down for the count.
Looks like the rest of their engagements are
They've
from
got
a
pretty good
distance.
mats
You can hear
now from those dudes that they just.
shots happening right behind them. And immediately when they thought they were safe, they're getting shot from the high ground on the hill.
Nobody with anything super long range.
Blue AR, it'll get the job done.
I mean, it'll do the work as long as you make the
Seeing
shot.
the players fly
Right.
through the sky.
I
on
mean,
those
it's not
riffs.
quite a heavy sniper or something.
And Ronan trying to get a different angle here to help his teammates out. Sees that the player's built up, goes
Shoots
ahead
him
and knocks
out.
it down,
Oh,
hits
in
him
midair.
with a shotgun. Immediately, this player knows that they're in trouble.
1
As
HP.
Ronan's pushing this box. They're just trying to have a moment to heal up, to do anything, but Ronan's not
They
allowing
are
them.
trying to escape Ronan, and Ronan's just
there we
chasing
go.
them down.
Man, they really want to get a victory royale here.
And who just went down?
The teammates.
Oh, Gilly.
Oh no!
Gilly's
getting
down.
put
Luke
down.
is
It's all
down.
on Ronan.
It's all on
Oh,
Ronan.
leaving
What
it
can
up to
Ronan do?
Can Ronan pull it out? He's safe. The RPK Dreams here tonight.
Oh, no.
Immediately putting down a player.
got 300
One
medal.
more still
You've got
standing
300 medal.
As Ronan takes another jump shotgun.
Ronan's
They're
taking
taking
out
down
two.
two of the players eliminated.
He needs health heals. He needs health heals very bad.
But unfortunately, in this mode, Cypher is not an option, so he's not getting the health.
Storm
He's not getting the health from the
in.
players. And
Oh,
unfortunately,
no.
That is a
there
fourth
goes
place.
the RBK Dreams
That is the
of
fourth
getting that
place.
one. I tell you, Gilly
That-
was on point there. Really looking strong.
Gilly put in some work.
But
Oh.
Gilly
really
put
put
in
up.
some work. 11 limbs.
yeah, that
think
was a
that
strong
was-
one for sure.
Got to clean up those
I think
rotates,
between-
boys.
I think between the four of them, that was over 20
Clean up the
elims.
rotates, he says.
But you know,
Yeah.
clean up, all right, coach. All right,
They were
coach.
still fighting and Storm quite a bit. They
They
should have
were.
moved sooner. As
They
soon as they
were,
get
yeah.
those eliminations on that team, they should have rotated out. Use a jump pad, use something, get them some free space, let them
know.
recollect and heal up.
We'll
But you know
definitely
what
be
else?
talking about that in VOD review tonight.
You know what else would have helped?
We'll definitely.
That getting that reboot and tilted before
Oh,
you ran
yeah.
through it.
Gil could have
That
had
would've
it.
gave That would have given a fourth
If they would
body.
have ran that direction,
Gil,
yeah.
Gil wasn't really
Ran-
thinking about it because they grabbed the reboot back there.
Yeah.
Gil was already up.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have been concealed though.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I
Can't
mean,
put a lot of faith in that.
Without a mech on the map, you're not really adding too much.
Well, one thing you can add to tonight before we get out of here is
Yes.
your donations for the Atlanta Braves Foundation. And if we can get that graphic up there one more time, we can show you how you can donate. !donate in the Twitch chat if you're there. Braves.com/donate for those that are at home. If you're anywhere else watching, thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. But we got Braves.com/donate. You can donate for a chance to win some prizes tonight as well. You got 5 baseballs autographed by Braves players. You have 2 signed by Luke Jackson himself, and 10 autographed 8x10 photographs of Braves players. Man, it has been a blast here tonight raising money for the Atlanta Braves Foundation.
This has been great, being able to switch, bring esports and traditional sports together, raise some money for a great cause, and have a wonderful, exciting, awesome time while we're doing it.
Marshall, it's been fun. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining
Thanks
us
for having
tonight,
me, guys.
man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It's been great.
Steens, thanks for coming in and giving us that pro view.
Right, yeah.
That
Little
pro
insight.
outlook.
Little insight
And,
there.
Too loud. It was great working with you.
You too, Marshall. It's been
absolutely
great, man.
wonderful.
I'm sure we called some things wrong. I'm sure the items weren't the right words all the time.
And once I check my Twitter, I'm sure
I'm sure we'll see it. But
Yeah,
we had a great time.
absolutely.
Thank you so much for having us. And I think we're going to see Luke Jackson here in just a second to
Yeah,
take us out of here.
I think we're going to get, absolutely.
Spank
I think
guns
we're
in
gonna
the
see
chat,
Violet
boys.
and Luke Jackson again. And
Zam?
remember, guys, hit that donate. And thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank you guys
guys.
so much. It's been a blast here at the Atlanta Braves Park and just having a great time at Suntrust.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, guys. Bye. Wonderful. Where should I put this?
We are back with Luke Jackson after all the games today. Can you tell me how it felt playing with your teammates today?
So I attempt to do it all the time online in Discord, and it's them just carrying me every single time. So pretty much the same. You know, this is just in person. So it's actually the first time I ever got to meet Steens and Gilly. So it's pretty cool having them in town. Got to meet a lot of our other Fortnite players, but Steens, Gill, Ronan I've met a couple times. You've flown out and done some events, so it's awesome actually finally getting to play with them.
Awesome. How was it like playing with your Braves players too?
So me and Acuña and Ozzie almost play every single night on the road, so I play with them all the time. We haven't gotten any better over the whole year. We rarely do we ever win. Me and Nuke been played for a couple years now, but just, I don't know, it feels like a normal night. Like if I wasn't playing here, we'd be playing back at home.
Do you think playing with your teammates brings you guys closer together as teammates, or?
Oh, of course. I mean, people always say like camaraderie off the field always helps on the field, so it's awesome getting to play. You know, my Spanish is getting a little better, like un poquito, so it's getting a little bit better. But I thank Ozzie and Acuña for that.
As I know you guys travel a lot. When you're on the road, do you bring like consoles and games with you to keep entertained?
If you saw our bus when in our flights when we travel, every single person pretty much has a games case, and I travel with my laptop because I'm super nerd, so I carry a laptop on me all the time. But they all travel with their games case, which has their PS4s in it, and pretty much the whole team.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to your teammates or anything?
No, I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting and Access Replay for helping setting everything up. You know, everyone here, Miss Violet, thank you again for everything. All the RBK guys coming out, Troy, you know, and Too Loud, all these guys just, you know, casting it awesome all night. So can't thank everyone enough, and I think Braves Foundation will love it.
Awesome. And thank you for speaking to me and coming out and hanging out with us as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
We're done? All right, we're done. All right.
That was awesome.
Woo!